Today's show is brought to you by Leesa Mattress. Leesa was founded with a simple goal to help people sleep better. And with an innovative direct-to-consumer online strategy, Leesa's 100% American-made mattresses are challenging the traditional mattress industry. See for yourself why everyone is raving about Leesa by trying it in your home for 100 nights, risk-free. Right now, you can get $100 off a Leesa mattress with the offer code BOMBCAST at LEESA.com.
That's right. Stretch it out.
Yeah.
Get loose.
Like a long neck goose.
Do some deep breathing into the microphone, please.
Yeah. Oh, God.
Oh, jeez.
That's...
Oh, wait, hang on. Did we start already? Oh, sorry. I thought we were trying to get our pre-podcast regimen out of the way before the mics came on.
You got to fucking loosen up. You got to shake it out.
I actually feel great.
Sometimes the mics are just hot and you say things and you don't know it.
I don't know what
you're being recorded and then it's...
I've never been guilty of that.
I was stretching ironically, but like I feel good.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Irony is being replaced with sincerity.
The
world over.
Speaking of,
yes,
I had a great time seeing Smash Mouth at the state fair. Sorry.
Oh, God.
The state fair.
Don't undersell
Saturday.
this to some fucking county fair. Smash Mouth will not come to your fucking Podunk County.
No, they're not coming to the Sonoma County Fair.
No, they
even
come to
though that's
states.
the one.
Is it by state law the only actual state fair, or can anybody call their fair at the state fair?
I think it's like a real. So like they had a exhibition hall in the middle where each of the counties had like a booth.
Whoa.
And it was an interactive booth, and you could like, look, here's what's happening in Modesto.
What is
Were
happening?
they just cooking meth?
I was like expecting half of the ones I walked up to be about meth,
Yeah.
but they're
You want a
almost
blue
about
ribbon
grapes.
for your
Is
meth
that-
recipe?
Yeah.
Is that what Modesto is like?
I mean...
I only know Modesto from like 50s greaser, like George Lucas American Graffiti era.
Sure.
Hot rod type stuff. What is?
I have not been.
What's
I
up
have not
with-
hung out in Modesto.
what's up with
for,
21st century
let's
Modesto?
say 15, 20-ish year. Yeah,
Okay.
it's been like 1999-ish. 98 somewhere was probably the last time I was like in Modesto overnight.
Okay.
And
You barely made it out alive.
yeah, no, I don't know. We like a lot of the towns around there seemed like that kind of like there's not a lot to do here, which is great if you're a band coming in because no one has anything else better to do than come see your shitty band. But
And do meth.
Just do a lot of meth.
and do a lot of, like,
Cook
don't-
it, smoke it.
There's nothing to do here, so let's just not sleep and make sure we maximize our doing nothing.
Let's watch all of Breaking Bad and make meth at the same time.
That's right.
So what was the basis of Modesto's county state fair booth?
They were all just grapes.
Okay.
They were all like, hey, we got a lot of produce. They all had like a plaque that's like our $1 million produce items, and then it would list how much money they've made from certain produce. They're all really boring.
It's a big agriculture state.
Except the ones with animatronics, and like there was an animatronic ghost in one. I don't remember which
ghost?
county
Wait,
it was.
which
Not like an
has ghosts?
animatronic thing of grapes.
I want
Sounds
to
like
go.
a Stanislaus County sort of thing.
I want to go to whatever county exports ghosts.
I should have better documented these, but my phone battery was too low, and I had to
gotta pick
save
and
all
choose,
save all my juice for
the-
sending Snapchats
for the main
Smash Mouth.
the main event.
It was great.
Like
When they played
Genuinely?
All Star, everyone was on their feet,
Of course.
singing, having the time of their lives.
Did they like open, close, and like encore with
No,
that
but he
song?
did turn it into like a 10-minute jam.
Of course.
Yeah.
you know, they
You got to
play.
maximize the good feeling.
Yeah,
I
right.
guess,
You know, they can still work walking on the sun in there somewhere.
Yeah, no, he did the great thing that all great musicians do, which was ask, how you all feeling tonight? Every other song.
Nice.
To get people to
Yeah.
cheer.
How are you feeling now?
Still good out there? Everyone's still...
Can you hear that? Is it weird? Hello?
Just give us something.
Still feeling it?
Yeah, there's
Y'all fucking tonight? That's another good one I find. Is like,
he did at one point invite all the ladies in the crowd to come up on
that's a good
stage.
one. Yeah, I think, you know, if you start taking pages from like Luther Campbell, Uncle Luke, if you will, his crowd work, I think that's, you know, like they had a song that was literally, if you believe in having sex, say hell yeah.
Hell yeah.
Hell yeah. And see, so exactly,
Yeah.
you had to respond.
I felt compelled to.
Yeah. So I think that's a popular one.
You know what I just realized is that every time you refer to him as he, in 20-something years of Smash Mouth, I've never learned that guy has any name other than the guy from Smash Mouth.
It's Guy Fieri is his name, I think.
Oh,
Yeah.
okay.
Steve.
Smash Mouth Steve. That's what they call him.
Steve.
Yeah. He's starring in his own
don't
arena
know.
battler for VR.
I kind of like the idea of just referring to him as Smash Mouth. Like he is Smash Mouth.
Oh, Hootie.
He just kind of stood up on stage in a white T-shirt and jeans and didn't move and sang every song. Most of the members, the Smash Mouth included a band of him, a guitar player who was a guy in a fedora, a piano player who was a guy in a fedora,
Nice.
and a guy with dreads on bass.
Okay. That sounds about right.
And the piano player was the keyboard player was the most active member of the group.
Okay.
It was really weird. At one point, he was doing the thing where he introduces all of the members of the band. He's like, "We got what's his name on bass?
Jody on bass.
And
He's
he
a
goes-
monster.
He goes, "We got Kyle on Sacramento homeboy Kyle on keys," and everyone went crazy because we were in Sacramento for the state fair, and everyone went wild. And he goes, "I threw you a bone there. I didn't have to say you were from Sacramento."
Wow.
As if he was like jealous at the reaction that he got versus like the lead singer.
I wonder if that guy like is a touring guy, or if they're like, "Fuck, we need a keyboard player for this fucking state fair show." Who do we know? Like, I don't know. Fucking what?
Is it Kyle?
PODs from Sacramento. Call them up and see if they know anyone that can fucking. That's right. Is it POD? I think POD literally is from
Are they?
Sacramento. Yeah.
I would believe that.
Yeah, that sounds right. Anyway. Maybe he's not their regular keyboard player, so
it
there's
was
like an
really
extra level of
antagonistic, and I was like, that's a weird mood to throw out in your feel good Smash Mouth concert. But
Well,
hey.
the guy showed up. I mean, he showed up for the gig holding a sign that said "I will eat the eggs." So I think he just like off the bat was like not setting
Just
the
not
right
setting a good tone, no.
It was just like, fuck, man, this guy. So
boy,
What kind of crowd shows up for the Smash Mouth
it's
show?
pretty much
Tired
the crowd that
ones.
would show up for the fair.
Okay.
yeah, that's I was gonna say like state fair.
I would put it at like 55% families, 25% millennials, and then the rest are like swinger 40-year-olds. There's a lot of like the
Wife
people in
swapping
front
out
of
there,
us
or
were
what?
actively trying to set up a wife swap situation.
Wow,
Okay.
like at the fucking Smash Mouth show.
They were
like,
a few wide coolers in to their Smash
Yeah.
Mouth show.
all right, and they're like, let's keep the good feelings going. Hey, what are you doing after
They
this?
brought the Boone's Farm.
We're two looking for a third.
Hey, man,
or a fifth.
They looked like they were going to have a lot of fun that evening. So
Sure.
who am I? to
I mean,
judge?
whatever. Like people are into stuff.
Yeah.
Like
People
Smash
are into
Mouth.
stuff.
People are into stuff.
They've got car keys and they're going to use them.
That's
Yeah.
right.
Yeah.
That's yeah. I don't know. I don't know that I've seen. Well, so Keanu Reeves played the Petaluma Fair one year. Dog Star. his band.
Oh man.
And like, so I imagine was Smash Mouth an additional ticket price on top of the state fair entry. So I walked into we would go every year to see the Demolition Derby.
Yeah.
In Petaluma, and so we're getting into the fair and walking past like one of like the 5 stages they set up, and like all these other fucking little bands play. Like they advertise like 6 bands or so on the marquee, and one of them is invariably Tower of Power. Like you cannot have the fucking Petaluma Fair if Tower of Power is not playing at some point.
Are they local?
The local, yeah, I think
Local
they are
enough.
San Francisco-ish.
Okay.
Yeah.
And sure enough, I think this year Tower of Power played. Anyway, walking in, no idea. Like, there's just a band playing off to our left, and like I don't know, there's like kind of a crowd, but like the kind of crowd that says, I'm eating and I might as well watch this while I'm eating. And I look over.
Rest my feet for a couple minutes.
Yeah.
Corn on the cob
no
and the
chairs.
chairs.
Oh,
like it's just
standing.
Everyone's standing around eating fucking turkey legs or fucking those bricks of pink popcorn.
Oh, we'll talk about the concessions.
We're
getting there.
And I look over and go like, that's Keanu Reeves. Like what does he play? What's
plays
his guitar?
Is it guitar?
Yeah.
Okay. He doesn't do vocals.
No, I don't. He's not like the front man.
Okay. He doesn't strike me as a front man. He strikes me as kind of a brooding.
Well, I mean, think about it like in terms of like why, like he's a front man in so many other things he does. Like it must be nice at some point just go like I can kind of. I mean, I can't because I'm fucking Keanu Reeves, but it'd be cool if I could kind of sink into the background a little bit and just fucking do my thing and feel good about it. Like that. That's
he seems like he would be a dour, brooding kind of lead guitarist.
maybe.
Sort of,
yeah. But he whatever. He was doing a thing, and looked over and went like, huh, weird. Just like right there near the entrance, like not like widely advertised, not because I mean it's Dogstar, like whatever they name a Dogstar song.
We are
Walking on the
Dogstar.
Sun.
There you go. That's their number one hit. Some other people have covered it, but that's the definitive version as far as I'm concerned. Yeah.
Was this before or after his kind of recent sort of renaissance?
Oh, this is well before. Okay. This is
he had kind of a lull for a while.
This is around the time I would have been going to Modesto.
Okay,
probably. Yeah. No, that's great that you saw.
Yeah,
I don't
and obviously you go for like a little bit of like, hey, we're seeing Smash Mouth, but honestly, by the end, it was such a good time.
Glad you went.
Yeah, very glad.
Did you stay in Sacramento, I assume.
No,
that was a long drive back.
Yeah, we took a pretty late drive back. It was 101 degrees that day. There. So yeah, you mentioned concessions, but actually the best thing I ate at the state fair was an ice cold apple from the little plant exhibit where if you went and got 5 stamps, they gave you an ice cold apple. They pulled out.
Did they advertise it that way?
No, they said you get a treat.
Okay.
And we were like, we're not doing anything better. Let's go get these stamps and learn about cucumbers and tomatoes and all that shit. But it was delicious. Had a corn dog, had some funnel cake.
Nice. They have turkey legs?
Yeah.
Okay, great.
They had a lot of big barbecue setups. Which isn't something I'm used to seeing at the fair. Like,
I was gonna say, like the local
leg.
fairs around Sonoma County, I feel like the turkey leg isn't even like a guarantee
sometimes,
or not widespread. There'd be like one little cart that's like, yo, we got that shit.
Funnel cake.
Yep.
Fried
Strawberry.
candy bars.
They had it. We were debating fried Oreos.
You should try a fried candy bar sometime.
Is that the extent to what the weirdness around here? Because at the Minnesota State Fair,
it's not fucking Midwest weird. It's not
Midwest
like fucking
gets a little
deep fried
weird.
hot dish. They make a whole hot dish and then dunk it in batter or whatever the fuck that you got going on.
That's
including the Corningware.
I'm taking a look at the 47 new foods for the Minnesota State Fair this year. We got bacon fluffernutter,
what?
a bacon up pup,
I wouldn't.
a bowl of dough.
Okay, now we're talking.
Just a bowl of dough. Breakfast buddy bowl.
I like that that's a new food. Like we just came up with it. What do you got?
Dough.
A fucking. We only have 46 new foods this year, guys. Fucking, we just put your fucking nose to the
putting something in the
grindstone.
oven. No, put that down.
Done. That's done. 47.
We're deconstructing our normal fare with this pre-cooked bowl of dough.
Cheesy nacho corn on the dog. Corn on the cob. I'm sorry.
Oh, okay, I was trying to hang on. Corn on the dog.
You
I'm
never
trying to
know.
picture.
Is it just a
Deep fried avocado for the
corn
kids.
on the cob with like dipped in nacho cheese?
Yeah, probably.
Yeah.
Do they have pictures of this stuff?
Oh yeah.
All right.
Duck bacon wontons. Does that sound pretty good?
What's duck bacon?
Bacon? Is it like bacon cooked in
is
duck
it like
fat?
Duck belly or
It's
is it
over at
bacon and a
Giggles
duck?
Campfire Grill at the southwest corner.
I would not go to Giggles
No?
Campfire Grill under any circumstances.
Welcome
Welcome to the gathering of the Juggalos, kids. Like, fuck.
Swine and
That
spuds.
Juggalo March is coming up soon.
Is
we
it?
should
Are
go.
you excited?
Yes.
The Juggalo March.
Let's say yes.
March on the Mall.
Oh, but I do want to
DC
mention,
Mall.
if you guys aren't doing anything later tonight, Blues Traveler is going to be performing
No.
at the State Fair. So if you want to,
I've actually-
Blues
wow.
Traveler.
I am busy.
I've seen Blues Traveler at a state fair probably 20 years ago.
John Popper himself.
Yes.
the other knife guy that we all love.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Seeing the knives.
yeah. Not he doesn't have like maybe as robust as a collection as like a Gabe Newell, but I believe he is a big knife enthusiast.
Where are they playing?
The State
Sacramento.
Fair.
Oh, wait, is it
It's still going.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
It's multiple. It's like
It's the
2
week.
weeks or
I
something.
think
right?
this was the last Saturday. Or no, they extended it. They did a
Jeez.
special extension.
I assumed it was just like a weekend event.
And then it ended. A beautiful night ended even more beautifully when we sat down at the Olive Garden next to the State Fair and had
wow.
Olive Garden for 10 p.m. dinner and watched the State Fair fireworks show from the
Wow.
window of the Olive
Man,
Garden.
that is a big fat slice of Americana right there.
It was
That sounds like a really
beautiful.
good time. What other any other foods jumping out at you over there, Jason?
Oh no, I just downloaded the PDF,
Nice.
the entire list of just the new
Send-
foods.
send
Yeah,
that
the
around.
new
wanted to
food
check out.
PDF. Not
I've
the,
got
the old food PDF is much longer.
You've got to make a plan when you go.
Yeah.
Like,
Yes,
you know,
you do. Yeah.
there's
You can
like
only-
10 things
Yeah.
that. So when we would go, we would pick out like 10 things, right, that we wanted to try, and we would just get one of those and split it between the two of us. Like you cannot try everything that's new there.
You got to have some
ridiculous.
thought towards self-preservation when you go in there.
Yeah, and there's staples that you do have to hit
Yes.
like every year, you know, like the cookies and stuff. But yeah, the new foods. Wow, it looks pretty good this year. I might have to make a trip.
I mean,
Bacon up pop. There's a bowl of dough.
Bowl of dough.
They just serve you a bowl of dough.
Okay.
That
Fucking
sounds like
eat it.
that
Love it.
sounds like a
That
funnel
sounds
cake
great.
to me.
No, that's a waffle. Like
They don't specify what kind of dough it is, though. Is what I'm
Yeah,
saying.
is it
Like,
cooked?
So I'm right.
I mean, then it wouldn't be dough, right?
Yeah, that's.
Oh my God, is that bacon in there? Oh Jesus. Okay, all right. Podcast. Let's
I
do
have to.
this.
I have to see this PDF later.
All right.
I'm kind of hungry.
I got some other PDFs for you.
Oh yeah.
Yeah.
What do you got?
I got to see the good PDFs.
Okay. All right. We'll talk.
Okay.
A bunch of games came out this week. It seems like to me.
Yeah.
What do you guys
Really?
think?
How's that
Yeah.
thing? Did you try that thing yet?
Oh,
That's
yeah.
That's not a game.
This just in. I bought a new Rockstar that I haven't seen before. Thank you. The proper video. Here,
Okay. Hang on. Are we
That's
back
the
to
rut.
this? Is this what it's come to? We're back to-
I just want to know because
Back
I
to
feel like
drink
I've had one of those, but I do all my drink testing in the car these days.
I got the
so-
Rockstar Super Sour Green Apple Energy Drink. It tastes like it has alcohol in it.
Great.
It
Always
is-
a good
Nice.
sign.
It's very. It tastes like an ice drink, like a smeared off ice.
Yeah.
Which is, I think it doesn't have alcohol in it.
They if it's above 0.5%, they have to put it on the label.
yeah.
I know from experience.
But it's very sour. I like sour. Sour is like my favorite
It's a-
flavor profile.
It's
Is
a
that the right
super sour.
term? And it's
and-
very fucking sour.
It's
Sour
sour.
is your bliss point.
Yeah.
Hmm.
Just want
Do I? Yeah. I mean,
How many carbs are
I'll
we
try a little
talking?
bit here.
a lot.
A lot.
A lot.
I can't deal with that.
Like 66 grams in the whole thing of
Ooh.
sugar.
That's a lot.
What? Really? Yeah, that is like a lot by even Rockstar standards.
I see what you're saying about the alcohol thing. Like the back end of it is just this kind of almost beerish kind of
Yeah.
What?
thing.
Oh, weird.
It's strange.
like not beer flavor, but like
Yeah.
the tongue feel.
Not like if you when you
Ugh.
burp after you have a bunch of beer and you're like, oh, and
like
you
it's
get that
slightly
little-
metallic.
Ooh.
That slightly metallic taste.
I think that's just stomach acid.
Yeah, maybe. I don't know. I started drinking more Monster lately.
Really?
No.
Like I wasn't
stop.
the Rockstar I wasn't feeling it anymore, and I started drinking like the 0-calorie Monster. Yeah, no, not a fan.
Yeah.
Not very sour, I think.
Really?
Yeah, I didn't really get a sour vibe off it.
Hmm.
But like Ultra Red and Ultra Sunrise and Ultra Blue, which
Yeah.
are like those are fun, non-fucking specific flavors.
Yeah, I was gonna say that's what it's
red.
come to. That's all they can come up with
yeah,
now.
that-
This one's blue.
The people at Monster are fighting a losing
Ultra
battle. You know,
Blue.
what are you gonna do? So,
This one's blue as fuck.
I'll grab one
I
of
mean,
those
Gatorade's
if
been
that's
doing
what I
that
got.
for-
You know,
yeah.
like,
years.
if I have no other options.
so I don't know. Like I feel like I'm fucking like cycling on and off the juice like some kind of fucking animal.
you got to ride
But
the
like,
wave.
But
man.
that so
Yeah.
I drank those Monsters and felt it the way I used to feel Rockstar.
Yep. You
And
gotta
so
sit-
now I'm thinking like, what if I get into Monster
Oh.
for a few months
Now you're
and then
just-
switch back to Rockstar?
Now you're just chasing the dragon.
We're all gonna end up dead.
Yeah. Heaven forbid you go back to Red Bull.
I like Red Bull. It's just not. But I hate sugar-free Red Bull, and I want to drink 0-calorie energy
Yeah.
drinks.
Where's Red Bull's got to be up there on the ladder of energy, right?
I mean, they
Red Bull
even
still kind of does it for me.
isn't it more
but I think
concentrated?
it's because that I don't drink that.
yeah.
often.
I mean, it's maybe a little bit.
It's got more in there, right?
I think so.
assume.
I don't actually
When
ever
it's-
look at how much energy.
Well, remember, like Red Bull originally was only available in those tiny cans, like the fucking 8 ounces or whatever, and then like all these other motherfuckers, the rock stars and monsters of the world, came out with these tall cans. Just say like fuck it, man. And then Red Bull's response was like, "Oh, really? You think you're ready for this shit? All right, fucking." We know you're buying 2 Red Bulls and pounding them anyway, you dipshit. So here's fucking giant cans of Red Bull, because fuck you. And that's good.
I mostly switched to yerba mate, but I wanted to give this a shot because I've never seen it before.
Does that have energy?
It does.
Does it?
It has 180 milligrams
of energy. Whatever that is.
Of caffeine.
You mean caffeine?
Of caffeine.
Yeah.
Yes. It's just caffeine.
Yeah, like most, I think that's the other. Like there was a while that I was like, oh, taurine's a big deal because of the way Red Bull marketed their shit. I was like, oh wait, no, this shit's just full of caffeine and sugar.
Should start getting the Thai Red Bull back in here.
Oh yeah, that concentrated stuff. That's if you really want to fucking.
I've got a bottle that somebody sent in somewhere around 2010, 2011.
Oh yeah,
It just gets better with age.
In my desk drawer.
Crack that open.
I look at it every few months.
the ultimate
Game of the
5
year.
hour
Everyone
energy.
just brings one of those.
And I just think, I don't know, this is maybe not a better.
Those are
great
pretty
idea.
delicious.
Yeah, they're great,
Yeah.
but maybe not when they're like 6 or 7 years old.
I've never
That was
had
what
one.
made me feel sick for 6 months. Was the time I drank an entire fucking dispensement of the 12 of those things or whatever they were.
Yeah, that would do it. All right, video games. Talk about them.
All right.
Kingsway.
So they were invented in.
Nope.
Ralph Bayer. Was
Kingsway was invented in 1995.
It's true.
um,
Yeah, actually, yes. That's about right.
yeah.
Because, that thing is roughly a Windows 95 desktop.
It kind of has a start button.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's the Rolling Stones play. When
It makes a sound. It goes when you start it up. It's a
Does it?
kind of a yeah.
I must have had it muted when I... Oh, that's...
Or maybe when you launch into the world for the
Okay.
first time.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Kingsway.
like a bunch of cool indie games came out this week, but I kind of just want to go play more Kingsway.
I've been playing a lot of it. It's
What was that sound again?
I forget who developed.
So like, is it like
I'm
one of
not
those
placing it.
cow things that you turn upside down?
Yeah.
I am going to go back and cut that out of this podcast and use that as my startup sound.
My text message noise.
Yeah.
Yeah, for people that don't know, it is basically, so I guess it's actually more of a roguelike-ish, well, it's a permadeath
It's-
RPG, but in like Windows 95 desktop form.
Right. So it when you boot it up and start playing it for the very first time, it seems very normal, like old RPG. You know, you've got an overworld, you've got a character, there's different classes you can choose from.
Describe how like this is
spells
presented
and
exactly.
stuff.
Like if you want to look at the overworld, what does it look like on your
you
desktop?
have to open up your desktop icon that says world.
I think it's called, there's an icon, I think it says World Navigator.
Okay,
Yeah.
and it'll like pop up in like a window.
Yeah,
Okay.
it's a fully functional, excuse me, desktop. Like you can drag the windows around, you can move, like all your inventory are just icons that you can move from window to window and stuff like that. Like
Rad.
So like looting is dragging from one window to another.
yeah, or
you-
selling and stuff like that.
you open what's basically like a file explorer window labeled like my bag, and that's your inventory, and you just drag stuff in there to put it in your inventory.
Okay.
And
cool.
so like I was going in thinking that it was just kind of playing off this nostalgia, and that wasn't really going to work for me because I didn't grow up with that kind of OS and wasn't like we had a computer lab at the school where I was familiar with it at least. But where it really hooked me is it starts as you play more and more, the enemies start getting more advanced. The combat stays the same, where you basically have attack, defend, 2 spots for skills, and escape. And you have kind of a Final Fantasy thing of your meter is filling up with when you can attack and their meter is doing the same. But enemies will start unleashing different kinds of attacks. Like the Shadow Assassin might start minimizing your windows.
Nice.
Oh wow!
Or a vine monster might shoot vines out, which means 2 windows just shoot out from the sides of the screen. You have to click avoid on each of them before they hit the other side, or else you're grabbed.
And they don't stop moving, so you
Yeah.
kind of like have to quickly.
Yeah, like right from the get-go, all the windows involved in combat move around the screen.
Yeah.
So even the most basic combat encounter, like you're having to track the attack icon with your mouse to keep hitting it
Okay.
and stuff.
Just keep you engaged.
But then like they'll like
kind of an Undertale sort of.
Yeah,
but-
yeah.
In a way.
And like they'll shoot a poison dart at you, and it's just a window that comes flying across the screen, and you have to like click the avoid button before it hits you.
And there'll be enemies that spawn other enemies,
Yeah.
so you start to get overwhelmed by just the sheer number of windows
Fucking
you have to
pop-ups,
manage.
man.
Yeah, and it's great because like it totally leans into the fact that this is all on quote a computer with like your guild quest emails are all basically spam. Like the best potion deals in town, or you won't believe what we found in these woods.
Yeah,
and
like you have
to-
like your quest log is an inbox basically.
Gotcha.
Status effects are system tray icons.
yeah.
So like you get poisoned, like
nice.
a little purple skull shows up down next to the clock in the taskbar.
This sounds like
super neat.
clever.
It's really clever.
Yeah, clever is definitely the number one word.
But it's not like one note, is it? Like
No.
No,
it
it's
seems
'cause it's
like
because
they've got like one good gimmick.
No, because it's a full-on loot treadmill. Like you're leveling up constantly. You're constantly finding better stuff. Like
When we did the quick look, like it looked like there was like Diablo-ish loot in
Yeah,
there.
you know, stuff
yeah.
will give you plus to your stats or
Blank
minus to
sword
other
of
stats.
blank.
Oh,
Increase your
totally.
RAM
It's like
capacity.
I've got a ring that's +4 to magic find.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And then I found like a sickle with lifesteal on it. Like it's totally got.
Yeah,
a
like
little
so I
component
saw
to
this
it.
game. Adult Swim put it out, and I saw it right before E3 during Judges Week, and it was one of the things like you look at and mess with a little bit and go like, "This is great. I kind of don't want to see any more of it right here, right now because
Until it's done, yeah.
like you look at it and you go, I get the concept. This looks rad. Let's look at it. Let's talk later. When this thing is out.
It's
'cause-
super cool.
Yeah.
And so it is, you know, it's not really a rogue like it's
it's got
procedurally-
permadeath.
but it's
Yeah,
permadeath.
it's
Yeah,
got
it's kind of
permadeath, and the world is procedurally generated, but you're doing the same thing every run. You're trying to light 3 beacons and make your way to the castle. Like that
Do you carry
never
anything
changes.
over from Run to Run?
So it has a unique system where when your character dies, you get a certain number of gems. And gems unlock permanent unlocks that you can choose at the start of the game. Stuff like, you know, plus 20 health or
Cool. Oh, there are character
plus
upgrades you can
50
get
gold
with
yeah.
gems. Oh, I didn't know that.
But then you
and-
can also get stuff like different themes,
Yeah.
like different
Yeah.
mouse cursors.
Yeah, you can change like the window styling, and you can unlock hotkeys. It's like you can unlock the ability to hit C to bring up your character
or
sheet.
to tab through windows.
I saw that they had the classic like mouse trails, the cursor
Yeah.
trails.
Oh yeah,
and
you,
shit.
you can adjust cursor drag, like, you know.
I don't understand. I've never understood mouse trails.
I think it's an accessibility thing.
Yeah.
it's for people who have a harder time seeing where the cursor is. Like it makes it more obvious where the motion is going.
And I guess at like super high resolutions, I certainly have lost a mouse cursor before, but I feel like I've just been able to like just jerk it around a little bit and go, okay, there it is.
I like a little drag.
Yeah,
I just
yeah.
like a
it's
little
something
jerking
about a
around.
visual aspect of
I
it.
think
it
it's
for you.
I think it's for people who need stuff like high contrast
Okay.
and
Yeah,
and
yeah. That
invert,
makes sense.
invert colors and stuff like that.
Just
trail
turn on the
shame
hot
me.
dog theme. Oh, I wonder if they should lean into like it's kind of a mixed but if they had the Windows 3.1 themes, if I could turn it to hot dog, all yellow and red.
Yeah, it does have color schemes.
Yeah.
Okay.
And there's like you have a little MIDI player.
Yeah. You control the soundtrack through what basically is like a little Winamp analog.
And they've got some pretty good like fake MIDI music
Yeah.
in there.
Yeah, it's super clever, and then also there's a really like an addicting game underneath it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I'm trying to beat it. I've come close. I lit 3 beacons and was on my way to meet the king and just kind of got too foolish for my own good and thought I could take it out of dungeon, but
Yeah. Also, this is like an old man reference, but they're going for this kitschy OS motif, but it actually kind of reminded me of old like BBS door games in a way.
Yeah, I can see that.
Because it's this like sprawling, like really complicated RPG,
Yeah.
but it's like the interface is so simplistic.
Right.
Like the way you
yeah.
interact with everything is like it's all mouse driven, and I never had access to a BBS that had mouse stuff.
No,
was
I
like
was not
rip-
a rip
rip
term
term or
Fuck that
whatever.
shit, man.
Yeah.
That's shit is
But
garbage.
it actually the first thing it made me think of was Legend of the Red Dragon when I was playing it. Like it just felt like those old super limited RPGs.
I mean,
from-
it is conveying a lot to you in text
Yeah,
and stuff
yeah,
like that. I
yeah.
think that the writing is way more modern than that.
Yeah.
But yeah, I think I see what you're saying.
Yeah.
Like there's definitely like some element of that.
Yeah, it's super cool.
Yeah. That reminds me that did you ever play Kingdom of Loathing?
No,
It's a web-based, browser-based like RPG, and like stick figure art, but like really funny.
it's like all black and white.
Yeah,
Yeah.
like a Postamancer class, like a really good goofy art style. They've got a game coming out pretty soon here, West of Loathing, that's like on Steam. That's like not browser based, and they're actually selling it this time. That I'm really looking forward to seeing. That kind of, I guess I don't know that much about West of Loathing, but like this also in some ways reminds me of Kingdom of Loathing. Not in the tone or anything like that, but just like the way it's kind of fucking around with stuff.
yeah. I'm excited to play a lot more. And there's like, daily leaderboard runs and stuff like that you can do. So, and I feel like there's a lot of. Have you found any of the obelisk notes?
I think I do.
Like, I don't know what
have
those
one.
are.
Really,
I know what obelisks are.
Is that the thing that you open it and it's like a little compressed JPEG of like a scrawled like
Yes.
somebody's drawn like a map in like
Oh,
MS
wow.
Paint and it's all artifacted like a JPEG.
That's cool.
But it's like this mystic looking map, and yeah, it doesn't explain itself at all. Yeah.
Yeah. So I think there's a lot of secrets and stuff to it. I've heard people saying they put 30 hours into one character.
Wow.
So.
And no one, yeah, I had no idea that was permadeath, so like that kind of raises the stakes a lot.
Yes.
Like I've almost died a couple times and didn't think much of it.
Yeah, I found out by dying.
Also, the death sequence is pretty good.
Yes. Yeah. You should at some point see the death sequence. Well, I feel like it'll happen to you eventually.
Yeah,
but
I'll wait till that. Yeah. What else you been playing, Ben?
I played Japan's hottest new arcade release, Gunslinger Stratos, at Round One Arcade in San Jose. I had like a summer vacation weekend.
Yeah.
I went to the state fair on Saturday and an arcade on Sunday.
Nice.
I went down with Nick Robinson, and some of his family were in town, so we went to go to the big arcade, Round One.
You do what you do when your family's in town. You take them to the arcade.
Take me to the arcade.
Yes.
This is where I go to play DDR.
That is the arcade to go to.
Is
to play
what he
DDR.
told his family. Is what I'm saying. But
Is that the Sunnyvale Golf Land of DDR?
It seems like it. Yeah. There was definitely a crew there that I recognized some people of being like very active in the DDR scene. But so Round One. There is a Round One in Japan, so they have a good relationship with Japan and get a lot of like new games there. This game is called Gunslinger Stratos. It's a Square Enix game, and it's kind of you have two guns, and it's kind of like it's a 4-on-4 kind of Gundam versus vibe where you're jumping around and moving around a big like open arena. But your guns have magnets in them, so you can do akimbo, which is normal. You get two guns, you can smack them together, and they magnet lock into each other, and it turns on screen to like a machine gun.
Oh man!
And all the characters have different guns and stuff. Or then you can put the guns on top of each other.
Oh, that's cool.
To make like a rocket launcher.
Do they fit? Like, do they snap really nicely
yeah,
together?
they have this like really good, like the guns feel good. They've got good weight. They look nice, and then they just get this good snap into each other. And that was a lot of fun. I played like all these weird new Japanese games. Like there's a lot of sniping games.
And these are all definitely imported, like not produced for the U.S.
There's like stuff written all over, like little stuff that they printed out and taped on there. Like, if you happen to have this type of card that you get in Japan, you can do this, and like all these, localized things that like really hardcore arcade fanatic people would be into. I also learned that I have a natural gift for the claw machine.
I saw you tweeting. Okay, go on.
I had about a 40% win rate on the claw
Yeah,
game.
you were holding in that photo like what, 3 or 4 different prizes?
I got a total of 5 things
Wow.
over like 9 plays.
That's
or something.
amazing.
That's
I thought those things were straight up rigged.
I did too until I saw like 3 or 4 different people carrying around like different ones they had obviously won.
Have you ever?
I think the only thing that they can rig on those is like the tension of the
Yeah.
claw.
Different
I don't think
machines
it's set
probably.
to.
That may vary by manufacturer,
Yeah.
but I have seen YouTube videos where they talk about the operators are literally able to set like how fair the machine is.
Okay.
Yeah. From what I understand is there are sliders you can set to, and this is from people tweeting at me saying, "Oh, obviously you got like a machine set in a way to give you prizes," which is wrong because I saw people failing. You can set like how tight the claw grabs
Yeah.
and how fast it moves back,
Yep.
because it moves very
Right.
fast.
I would
back.
imagine you could
More
also
likely
set it so like some plays are going to be grabbier than others. Like, every 10th one is going to be
I
a
think
little
that
more
is how it
likely,
works.
like
There
a,
is-
some straight up
I'm
slot
not
machine.
sure
stuff
about
style
that.
shit.
I was about to say, did you know that there is a hardcore UFO catcher scene on
Oh,
YouTube? But
yeah.
like, of course, there is a
Yeah.
hardcore everything scene on
Yeah.
YouTube. But yeah, like there are. I've seen a couple of videos out there where people talk about like the operator menu and those things, and,
Yeah.
and their strategies for maximizing their prizes and stuff.
But I would also assume that at a place like Round One that is kind of catering to a specific audience, that they would probably set their machines to be a little more fair,
Yeah.
and just charge accordingly, or make sure the prizes are set accordingly.
Yeah,
or something like that.
what's the
So,
business model in that place? Is it like
I don't want to undermine. I don't want to say you don't have skill
No,
in this.
I agree with you. I bet it is a little more fair than the average
Yeah.
claw game setup. But you buy a card, It's weird. Your tokens, which you spend on the games, and your tickets are both stored on the same card.
Oh, right. Yeah. So they're like the redemption.
The
and
future,
yeah.
man.
That's cool. Yeah.
You just carry around one little piece of plastic, and you got
Scandia has
everything
cards
covered.
now.
Is it tickets and tokens?
I don't know if it does tickets, but I know
Okay.
it does tokens. Yeah.
Is that you load tokens on there beforehand and then
Yeah,
spend them?
you spend like you know,
okay.
and of course they have escalating deals like 20 gets you 100,
Sure,
but $30 gets you 150, and you know.
I was gonna say it'd be cool if you could just like go around swiping and then pay for what you played when you leave, but there would be too many chances of people jumping the turnstile and getting out of there.
You can pay for like timed.
Oh, okay.
You can like all free play for an hour or something. Yeah, so that was pretty much. I played more Prey.
Yeah.
Not much more to say about that. I like the way they handle their out of space station stuff quite a bit. You don't do it a lot, but when you're
the
like
spacewalk
floating-
stuff. Okay, yeah.
Yeah, that stuff's neat.
Yeah, it
Felt good.
controls really well. It's another way to do a different kind of really tense atmosphere, right? Because you just like are you know, you have 3 dimensions to worry about now instead of just looking around you and listening for music.
And I, if I remember, you can't really stop on a dime either. Like
No.
you've got a lot of drift to worry about.
Yeah, you have a brake, but it definitely deaccelerates. And you've like really only got your wrench, I think, as your like only active weapon you can use out there.
I don't think we talked about this much before, but they like back when that game came out, they were out there talking about how they had accounted for, because you can kill all the NPCs in that game, if I'm not mistaken. And they had basically accounted for that ability, and like there are actually a bunch of different ways to get through the game.
That's interesting.
Based on who lives and dies, and I think they said that because navigating outside the station is a big part of getting around, right?
Yeah.
Or it's like kind of a way to take shortcuts. To
Yeah,
different-
it almost felt like a fast travel sort of system in a
yeah,
way.
I think they were implying that was kind of part and parcel, like that, like NPCs being disposable and also being able to fly around the station was a big part of like charting your own path through that game.
That first time I got out there, I saw like quest objectives like laid out as dots on the space station, and I realized like, oh, I could probably just go over there.
Yeah, like as much as people were comparing it to like BioShock, like but BioShock the objectives are very linear, you know, it's like one after the other, and you don't really have much choice. And they made it sound like you can just kind of like chart your own course through the game, which sounds super interesting.
Yeah,
cool.
It's good.
Yeah. I should get back to that game.
I want to say that I didn't play too much past the first spacewalk. Like there's definitely like you got the item that will let you spacewalk. Now do it. That's I played a little bit past that.
That's pretty much exactly where I got to.
Yeah.
Jason,
Yo,
what's
hey,
going on down there?
Hi.
It's changing it up this week.
Okay.
Going
Keep me on my toes.
Going in the opposite direction here.
What have I been playing?
Yes.
A little bit of Neo. I want to get back into that because I saw that the second DLC has been announced, and I don't think that the critical reception to the first bit of DLC was well received, but this one seems pretty substantial in that they're adding they added a new weapon in the last one too, but just in terms of map size and just like how big the levels are and shit. This seems pretty awesome.
Yeah.
Other than that, Gigantic, I really
Oh, did you get into some Gigantic?
Yeah, I played some Gigantic. The first thing that definitely stands out with that game is the art style. It's very well animated. The character design is fucking fantastic.
Yeah,
it
is nice.
There's one character in particular that I absolutely love, and that's Aisling. She's this little girl who had inherited her father's sword, and her father actually haunts the sword.
Dead father lives in the sword.
So we had a sword dad, and you can use him during the game. It's fun.
That game looked cool. Yeah, we did that quick look.
It's definitely
it's a lot to take in.
Yeah. Just reading about it, it seems kind of MOBA-ish, and it's definitely got roots in that. But it's definitely more action oriented than I was anticipating.
Yeah, it seemed like it was kind of like halfway between like Overwatch and a MOBA.
Yeah. There's a lot going on, but I feel like I can follow this a little bit better than some other third person.
Does it seem like it's maybe
MOBA-ish.
even like a little more slight than something like Paragon?
Yeah.
Oh, definitely.
In terms of like strategically?
well, I don't know. Ben could speak to that better than I could. But in terms of mechanics, like there's definitely less to worry about.
Yeah.
Totally, because you're not like I actually didn't play that much Paragon.
Yeah, it is like a shockingly a MOBA. Like
so does it have like items? And
they're cards.
gold
They're
and-
cards, but yes, absolutely.
So
like,
this
it has
doesn't
got,
have any of that.
It is it's like you've got character build stuff to worry about. Like,
that's really about-
significantly.
So Battleborn then.
Possibly. Yeah, I see a lot of similarities.
Honestly, a little. It's kind of Battleborn-y, but not really ever shooting as. Well, I guess there were shooting characters.
I'm sitting here trying to remember how Battleborn matches work.
I played
have
one
no
Battleborn
recollection.
There
of
were a
like
lot more
what-
creeps in Battleborn. There's no creeps.
Yeah, there are no creeps in
Okay.
this game.
All right.
But like I don't remember what the objectives are in Battleborn.
It's a hobby grade.
It's towers. You're taking down
yeah.
towers.
Is that what it is?
Yeah.
There are a
Okay.
couple of different modes, but like they had a kind of a single player, like a story component that you would go through the game with.
Yeah.
So in Gigantic, you've got a huge beast on either team, and you're trying to feed it energy. And once it gets enough energy, it'll actually go and attack the other sides,
Yeah.
like Gigantic Beast. It's not actually doing damage to it; it's just like pinning it down. So you've got to
So
like
you can
run
attack
in,
it.
go in,
Yeah.
and get some damage in.
The basic pitch is it's a capture and hold. Like there's
Yeah.
a bunch of points on the map, and if
Okay.
you capture and hold enough of them, you earn points, and you also get points by killing the other team.
Okay.
And then when you hit a point threshold, you can then attack their creature
Hmm.
for some number of seconds.
It's pretty rad. Yeah, it's really fast paced, but I'm having
Yeah.
a little more luck like
it's-
following.
It seems like it came together pretty well.
Yeah, there was
I'm
a
excited to
lot
play
of
some more of it.
Yeah. Also, it sounds like they added voice chat like the day after you were complaining on the video that it doesn't have voice
text chat.
Or
Yeah.
is it text chat?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, I think they had voice chat already.
Oh, did-
'cause
okay.
it didn't
Yeah, for
sound
what
like
I-
That's
that.
like
but-
system level
But
stuff.
you
It's
had
on
to
the Xbox, right?
you had to like opt into it, and
Right.
only voice chatters would play with voice chatters, and non-voice chatters would play with non-voice
Weird.
chatters. Was my understanding.
I didn't know that.
Um,
I knew that it was
Weird.
capable, but still, I would just use like a Discord, but
Yeah.
or like party chat on Xbox. So
we should try and get we should play some of that.
yeah,
I want to play with other people that I know and can kind of talk to a little bit
Yeah.
while
Mhm.
I play, because that's the thing. My only experience with that game is playing with allies and only being able to communicate through like attack now or defend now. There's like 4 little preset,
Mhm.
chat things you
Yeah.
can do, which isn't great when you're not on the same. Sometimes you get into a game and you're just on the same page as everyone else. Sometimes you're all just running around in different directions.
Yeah.
but yeah, I think it's real neat. I mean,
Cool.
it's free to play. Go
Yeah.
check it out
Yeah.
for sure.
Just download
And yeah, the practice mode lets you play as any character with like any combination of skin or
Yeah,
whatever.
they do
so-
the league thing, right? Like some heroes are free.
Yeah,
Yes.
exactly. Yeah, they've got like 5 or
Really
6.
cool costumes.
Seriously, yeah. Whoa.
There's a
There's a
frog
frog
martial
with a-
artist who has a Goku outfit.
All right. Sure.
Yep.
Why
real
not?
Good, real good stuff in there. Playing a little Sundered 2. I don't think we can talk about that just yet.
Can we not?
No, not till like Thursday or some
Oh,
shit
shit.
like
Crap.
that.
Okay, I played some of that too.
Gotcha.
I was about to say something about it.
Yeah, that's really about it of note, I
All right.
guess.
Excellent.
How about you guys?
Jeff.
Splatoon 2
Yeah.
Right.
finally
Sweet.
came out.
Yeah, that's out for
so-
real.
Yeah, it's like been crazy, like having it for a while, and
Yeah.
then just like, well, it's this like super multiplayer focused
What are
thing.
you gonna
like-
do with it if you can't play it with people?
So now that it's out, it's obviously a lot easier to find games and stuff. That game
Is it a lot easier?
It is a lot. Yes, it is
Okay.
still sometimes like takes too long to match into a game.
From like a network issues perspective or a player base
Like,
perspective?
no, I don't know. Like sometimes I'll
hard to
sit there
tell.
and there'll be 3 players just sitting, me and 2 other people sitting there, and it won't start until you get 8.
Mm.
And sometimes
Huh.
that's weird. But anyway, it's really good.
Yeah.
All
right, moving on.
Yeah.
Is it because you're winning more?
No, well, I feel like and I would need to go back to the first game and kind of look at some of the abilities and unlockable stuff and see how much of that stuff was in there. But I definitely feel like I'm having a better time building meaningful loadouts and
Okay, cool.
abilities that attach to those items that change the way that you kind of approach the game.
Gotcha.
So, the gear has like ability slots on it, and as you gain XP while wearing gear, you eventually unlock those slots, and something random will roll into them.
Right.
And there's a process for like wiping, like scrubbing those slots clean, and then you have to level them up again. So if it unlocks something you think is bullshit,
So you never get the chance to put something
that
in
is
manually.
that is even later. So every
Okay.
time you scrub slots, you get an ability shard or whatever. That if you get enough of those, then you can put that ability into an item. But considering you're only going to scrub things that have abilities you don't like, that's a weird end game sort of thing. You would have to have played a whole lot to eventually start slotting your own shit into there, unless there's some way to unlock those ability items or whatever that I just haven't seen yet. So like I've got a sweatshirt now that has a like ninja ability on it that means when I'm sunk in my own ink, there's no indicator. So it's like a stealth. So I can.
and that's on the clothing?
That's on the clothing.
that's cool.
Was
Was that in the first game at all? Was it?
Yeah, there was some of that
They
stuff.
had,
Yeah,
it doesn't
that was
sound
in
that robust from my memory, but
Yeah, like I remember it in the first game seeming like, oh well, this is neat, but like none of it felt all that meaningful.
Yeah, I thought it was mostly cosmetics.
But maybe it was just because I liked the game. I liked Splatoon 1, but dropped it pretty quickly. It was like, this is neat, but and this game just, I don't know, like I feel like there are more opportunities to think about loadouts and strategy and all that other stuff. That maybe that's me or maybe that's the game, but like I just never approached the first game that way.
Yeah.
But it becomes like, okay, well now I've got this stealth item, and that means I can hang out in the ink here and wait for people to show up and just pop them. If people are nearby, like
so you create a loadout based on that, or
yeah, exactly. So it's like, okay, I need to be able to like swim up there quickly, or like some of the other abilities are, like you regain ink faster when you're swimming, because that's how you kind of reload your weapon. But also like, so the new weapon in the game was like when they first started showing it, they were like, the splat dualies, it's a dual pistol, that's cool, right? And in the context of them announcing it, you're like, cool, yeah, that's cool.
It's another gun.
Dual pistols are fun. But like in practice, you start to realize like, oh, it's almost kind of so it has another ability on it that kind of functions as a hard counter to the rollers. Like people complained, and people got around it. Like the people got better at the game. It wasn't that big of a deal. But like early on in Splatoon 1, there were a ton of people complaining that the ink rollers were just overpowered because you could just ink and run and roll over people and fucking murder, and people just couldn't figure it out. The splat dualies, while you're firing, if you hit the jump button, you will just do a roll, like a dodge roll in a direction. And when you come up, you fire at a higher rate for a few seconds.
Oh, neat.
So it is almost like a hard counter to just like someone is rolling at you. Roll, like, like fucking dodge the paint roller and kill them. Like, done. And that was really fun for a while.
Splat dualies.
So dumb. Yeah. But then as I leveled up, like, so I thought like, oh, for sure this is going to be the gun I use for the entire game. Like, there's no way I'm going to change because that's so much fun. But then like as I started facing people with different loadouts, it's like, like I'm not actually doing the dodge roll all that much. And then I unlocked the fucking zapper, like the NES zapper is in there.
Wait, like the literal zapper?
They call it the NZap 85, but it is the fucking gray
that's
zapper.
Awesome. They went with the gray.
Yeah,
not the orange.
Maybe there's like a hero version of it that's orange or something. But and it's got more range than the splat dualies.
Okay.
You don't have the ability to do the dodge anymore.
Yeah.
But that was right around the same time that I got a hold of that sweatshirt with the ninja thing on it. So like at some point, my entire tactics to taking on other people, which is not even like the main thing you do to win in that game, but it's something you have to do.
Well, but
you're denying them the ability to get ink, out there.
You're creating space for your team
to
paint.
Like there really is like it's one of the most visible things that game does is like you literally see the line of like as your team is pushing into their territory or getting pushed back, like you see it, and because you win by painting, if people haven't played it, like you win by painting the ground, like it is, who has inked more percentage of the stage with their color by the end of the time. And so, yeah, so it's denial at that point. Like, okay, I'm killing these people because then they can't like sneak around us and get into our territory and ink a bunch of it. But primarily I'm out there because that zapper shoots farther than splat dualies, so I'm able to ink more territory. It seems like damage-wise, it's just about as good as the splat dualies, but also like that element of surprise of like, oh, I popped up, you didn't even see that I was there, and smoke you, and then paint over everything you've been painting. Like that's, yeah, like it's a deeper game than I felt like I got out of the first game. I know like as people played it, people started taking it hyper seriously. But Splatoon 2, I think, with like that additional weapon stuff, and maybe it's just some of the loadout stuff I've earned this time that makes it easier for me to see it. But I'm seeing it as a much deeper game than I saw the first game. And
which controller are you using?
The Pro Controller.
Pro Controller. So you're not using motion controller?
No, fuck no. You can. It has all that stuff in there, but I am not using motion controls. I felt like I was at a severe disadvantage in the first game for not using motion controls.
Yeah.
They've got a lot of sensitivity settings, and I mean, again, that's something I have to go back to the first game and check. But like I don't feel like I'm at any kind of disadvantage to people if they're using like tilt controls or whatever.
Just like a moral disadvantage because motion controls are the only way to play that game.
I fucking can't. Like I can't. Like if it was, it's because they use the right stick for some stuff and the tilt is just up and down, or Yeah, the tilt is up and down, and the stick is side to side, or is it the other way? I think it's just up and down, and you have to.
No, you can look around.
I feel like you can't turn with it. You turn with the stick, but you look with the gamepad.
I don't remember.
And
I only played during Splatfest. I haven't downloaded it yet.
So like that aspect of it, of like, you're still using the right stick. It's like, well, fuck, I don't need to whip it like that to
what
paint.
if you do? What if somebody pops up there and you're just like, whoa?
I mean, you can set your controller sensitivity, so
Yeah.
You just
tilt
turn
this
it way
other
up
stick,
and
I
use the
guess.
right stick. And yeah, anyway, it has not been a problem. There were definitely games in the first game where I felt like I just couldn't. I didn't turn around fast enough, and they've got different settings for sensitivity, whether you're docked or undocked. So like if you're using,
cool.
So if you're using a pro controller or whatever, you want it a certain way. If you're playing undocked, you want it a certain way. Like they kind of handle it a little differently, which is nice. Just good stages. Like I still think that there's stuff about that game that is like just profoundly backwards and like the most Nintendo ass solution to like player matching and stuff, where like when you go to match into a game, you can't fucking back out. Like once you join a lobby, the only way to back out is if the timer expires because not enough people join,
or you quit the game,
or you turn the game off. Yeah, and like this just highly inconvenient structural things to the way the game works. Like they've at least you can pop up they start you in the big the town square or whatever, and that's where you go off to find the shops and all this other stuff. You can warp to most of the meaningful areas. You don't have to walk across it to get to
change your clothes or something.
You can get in there and do that stuff, but it's still like a process of like I open this and then hit equip and do this. If you're in the lobby section, it's sometimes difficult to like change your gear. Like they've offloaded it to amiibos. You can store a loadout on an amiibo, and while you're in the lobby, you can fucking touch the amiibo to change your loadout.
Any amiibo?
Yeah, no, Splatoon
has to be a Splatoon
amiibos.
What do you think?
I can still dare to dream, right?
And that sucks. I mean, it's like in practice, you're like, oh, I want to use this now, boom, and you could do it.
Yeah.
I'm not fucking doing that.
That's really lame. Like I've seen a ton of people complaining about the way the salmon run stuff is handled, which is the kind of co-op horde mode.
So I unlocked that, and it like I originally thought it didn't even have fucking matchmaking, but it does.
Yeah. But you can't select it specifically to matchmake, right?
You can.
Oh, I thought.
So
I saw people saying it just had to come up in the rotation.
Right. So there's a separate area that opens up. And maybe there's something about it that I played like one online game. Like you have to do two single player kind of training runs through it before it lets you kind of start matching up with other people. And so I've only done it once. So I'm sure that I'm sure with this game that there's something about it that people could reasonably be complaining about how that stuff works just because of how the rest of their matchmaking has been. But yeah, there's like a separate area you walk over to match into those.
Okay.
And that's and then there's a separate little guy that you have to walk up to if you're using their shitty app. There are items that show up only in the app.
I was going to get to that.
You can like order.
Okay.
Wait,
for
they have
delivery.
a specific Splatoon app?
No. This is their like online service app that also launched.
Got you.
Okay,
That's what
and
I
it's a
thought.
web page. Like it's like they're building kind of web pages in the app that kind of load up. That
they are going to have game specific areas, but it's all one app.
Yeah.
Okay.
And so you go to the Splatoon area, you can see some stats.
So they're putting unique items in just the app.
I'm
sure they're trying to drive people to get the app.
It's the same type of idea. So you could always walk up to someone, look at what they're wearing, and then order one.
Okay.
If you like a guy's like that's how I got the sweatshirt with the ninja stuff on. Is I saw someone wearing it, went like, ooh, that looks cool.
But not like buy it outright. You have to like
You have to place order and then come back tomorrow and walk up to a specific guy in the town square and he goes, hey, I've got your order.
Can you change the system clock?
I don't know.
I wonder.
I don't know. Yeah. And then you can get it, and you can only get one item per day. And then the ordering stuff on the app is kind of similar, but it looks like it's a separate slot. So you could get one thing from the app and then one thing from another person you saw.
And to be clear, this is the same app that handles voice chat and
handles voice chat is a generous way of putting it, but yes, it's the thing they're using,
Yes.
the thing they call their online service.
It is the hub of their online
yeah,
multiplayer
it is,
stuff.
Yeah.
And there's already like, are you seeing these peripherals starting to pop up? Like, is it Nyko? I think is putting out a phone mount for your
Yeah.
Switch controller.
Oh, that's nuts.
So you can mount your phone on top of your Switch controller to do the voice chat while you're
Oh
playing. Like,
man,
it's insanity.
I saw Hori had one that it was
Maybe
actually. It
it's
seemed like
Hori.
it was really well integrated, like as far as just combining like all the different. You know, the phone.
The one I saw, I think, had battery charging and stuff in it.
Maybe.
It's the
I know Hori
But
has a
just
really
like,
good
like
one.
the idea that you have to buy another thing to mount your phone,
But
or
like you know, if you're wearing a headset on with that's connected to the phone,
yeah,
then,
you just leave the
then that's
phone
a
on the
different
chair
thing.
next to
Yeah,
you or
yeah.
whatever. Like,
But
Make
also,
sure you don't close the phone screen.
But that's the larger thing is like the number of restrictions about like the app must be open. The phone cannot go to sleep. Don't fucking check your texts because that'll fuck it up.
Yeah.
Don't pull down your notifications.
I think
'cause that'll fuck, you know,
they can at least design the app so it keeps itself active, right? Like the
yes,
phone won't go to
yes.
sleep.
They could. They
I have
could do a
several
lot
apps.
of
Did they
fucking
not?
things.
Did they not do that?
I don't actually
Okay,
know.
they
for
have
sure.
to have done that.
But like, it's so fucking backwards.
terrible,
It is
man.
fucking awful.
Like that even
you know,
like I just think about the way that I play multiplayer games on the other two consoles, and I've got one headset that is a good pair of headphones with a microphone, and I plug that into the controller, and then I get the game audio and my chat audio all
Right.
in the same headphones. Like you
have to use a
inherently,
splitter.
you inherently cannot do that with this setup. Like what
right.
are you doing?
It's really fucking crazy. It's inexcusable at some
Yeah.
point. It's
Yeah.
like the most fucking half-assed. Just it's easy to want to laugh it off and be like, oh, Nintendo. And all, or it's easy to laugh it off and say like, who wants to voice chat anyway? But this is a fucking terrible solution. This
Yeah.
is like a sick joke. Like the idea that like they would present this in a public manner is just crazy. With the way it's currently built, and obviously it's in beta, and they're not charging for it, and all this other stuff, right? So I imagine that they're going to take this feedback and eventually get to something that is more reasonable. But you just look at it and go like from the ground up, like what are you doing?
Yeah.
Like, how is this something that you like anyone ever deemed as acceptable to release for people? It's really something else. And maybe they were just like, oh, we have a hard deadline of the Splatoon 2 ship date, and this is what we could get done because this is the first time we've done. You know, I don't even know who developed it, if they did or DNA or who knows. But it is fucking bad.
Yeah.
Can you imagine if you were like a parent and your kid is like, oh, I want to play Splatoon. I want to play Splatoon with my friends. Can you have your phone so I can do the voice chat on there? And you give them your phone because you want your child to shut up for once. And they load it up on the dock and they open it up and they start playing and you're about to go to work or whatever and they hand it back to you and it's at 12% battery because it has to be open the whole time. And
It's really crazy.
Yep.
It's hard. Like I would love to know the trials and tribulations of developing something this poor.
Yeah.
Like what the bumps in the road along the way were that they managed to iron out by the time
to
this
give
got there.
them
Like,
to give them
it's-
the benefit of the doubt, I'm sure it at least started from the kernel of the idea of like people use their smartphones for all their social stuff these days.
Yeah.
We should put our social thing on there too. But like that ignores
yeah.
all of the the speed bumps between that idea and execution.
And so like you can without it. So I've only messed with it like very briefly and saw like this is a shit show. So whatever. And I'm not playing with friends that often. So there's that. But like if you just join another friend's game, which you can do, you can see a friend who's playing Splatoon and just join them. Like it doesn't put you on the same team. You know, you kind of can't party up without the app. And I assume if you are partied up, I haven't tested it enough, but I assume if you're partied up, it will keep you on the same team. I've definitely seen players match in like 4 at a time into a game and go like, okay, well maybe they're a team. I don't know. That stuff is preposterous.
All of
it's
this,
really, it's
all,
really wild.
All of this makes me feel like I would just never attempt to play multiplayer games on the Switch.
Well,
Like,
also,
this
I
is
mean, but also
insanity.
like this is a great multiplayer game.
Yeah.
Like, you know, if you want to play it with friends, like, you know, maybe you could use the app to just get them together and then close it and then launch Discord.
I was going to
instead.
say, yeah, like drag your
Like-
laptop over and have Discord running at the same time.
Exactly.
I guess.
Yeah.
I don't know.
And that's, yeah, it's really wild.
That's a shame.
Like how bad it is. Like you expect it. You go in, go like, oh, Nintendo, they're making an online thing. It'll be funny in a way, but this is like.
It's not funny
in ways
anymore.
you could not even like begin to guess at. You're
Yeah.
just like, what? Why? How did you come to? How?
I started to say that on the software side, they could always add this with Switch system updates, like add the voice chat and stuff, but there's no hardware solution, right? Like there's no microphone in any of the system, right?
No.
It's possible that the headphone jack has room for like a third pole or
Like, oh,
whatever.
so maybe the headphone jack could accommodate
maybe
a
you could
headset?
have a
Okay.
headphone,
But even then-
headset situation.
But even then, that's only on the Switch because the separate controllers don't have headphone jacks, right?
I don't think so, but I guess
What's
I'd
going
have
to
to go.
happen is they're going to sell you a headset you plug into your phone, and you plug your phone into the controller, and then you can voice chat with your friends.
Speaking about that Hori thing, I found it on Amazon. It's actually just like it combines both your phone audio
Is that the Splatoon
line.
themed thing that they've been? Yeah, so
Exactly.
we
Yeah.
talked about that.
So the thing
yeah,
I'm
okay,
talking
cool.
about is different than that.
Gotcha.
There are competing peripherals out there now.
But
Yeah.
that's the Splatoon looking like it's
got
a
an
splitter.
arrow.
It's
Yeah.
a fucking
a
audio
splitter.
splitter.
The
Like
thing-
fucking what?
The thing I'm talking about is I believe it takes your existing joy. It's like the thing that comes with the Switch that your Joy-Cons bolt onto.
Right.
I forget what that thing's called, but like I think it's one of those, but with
A room with a space for
with
your
a
phone,
phone
as well.
mount on
Yeah.
top of it.
But it doesn't do any of the audio
that's-
routing. Like it still
Yeah,
is kind of
yeah,
like
no,
you know,
yeah.
voice chat's gonna
Yeah.
scream out of your phone unless you have a splitter and all this other headphone solution. and
Yeah.
all this other bad stuff.
That's a shame.
It's-
Most of the Switch is such a cool system for them to bungle this so bad.
yeah, like it's like you almost expect it, but not like this. Like this is even a new level of like, man, what are you doing?
Like
Uh,
it makes me reminisce about having to share friend codes.
Which you still have to do. Which you
But that was
still
the
have to do.
only thing at one
Right,
point.
yeah.
But the friends
yeah.
list is even less useful now than it used to be.
Well, now that Splatoon is out, like, you know, it's vital because
no, I
you
mean
have to-
inherently the
yeah,
way that they
right.
manage the names, you can't even tell who's who
Yeah, you're right.
anymore.
Yes.
That stuff's pretty bad. Yeah, that
My
stuff's-
me looks nothing like me, and its name is not Ben.
And also,
The
like,
nerve.
you know, when Super Mario Run came out, I accepted every friend request that came my way and all this other stuff, and on the Wii U and all this other stuff. So as they started linking those services to the Switch, I started getting friend requests from like, you know, this person from Super Mario Run, and I'm like, no, I fucking don't, because I played that for a day, and also that's not a multiplayer game. So how, you know, like, I don't know those people really. So, well, whatever. Maybe that's me for posting like a public friend code or something like that.
How dare you?
I know. I re-rolled my friend code. You can do it on the Switch.
Oh, wow.
Like I gave it out on launch day and then realized like, oh, this is a fucking mess.
That's
like,
a
this
good
is
idea.
Not usable.
Yeah.
So you can change it.
Do you still have to manually go remove people you don't know?
Yeah. And then also like you're removing people and you're like, maybe I know this person, maybe I don't. I guess I don't know.
Is this the mic that I know or the 3 other mics I don't know who also got on this list?
Yeah. That stuff's weird.
Yeah.
Anyway, Splatoon 2 is a great game.
Yeah, it seems
it's
cool.
really,
That
it looks great.
That boss fight you played on UPF
Yeah,
was
that
like
was
pretty
fun.
Did you play
well
any more
designed.
I've not.
I was like, oh, this is pretty clever.
And there's stuff in the single player. You start to unlock additional weapons that you would then. I guess the unlocking process sounds like a lot of work, but you unlock weapons that you are testing in the single player. And if you, I guess, complete every level with that weapon, like go back to those other levels, you will unlock it for use in multiplayer.
Cool.
So there's like a hero version of the Splat Dualies that I don't know what the changes are stat wise. If it's just a gold version or if it actually is a little different. They do have other cases of like different variants on the same weapon theme throughout the game. So I would assume these would be slightly different. My first thing when I first saw them was like, oh, I'm definitely going to unlock these fucking hero dualies or whatever. And then once I read up on what you have to do, I'm like, actually, maybe I won't. So we'll see. It looks like there are only like 5 worlds in the single player, so maybe it's not that long. So I'll probably still play more of it.
That thing looks great too. Like
yeah.
Every time they put out a first party game, I have that moment again of like, I can't believe this is coming out of a tablet. You know, it's like
they know how to
like
work their stuff,
it's
man.
60 FPS and the paint's all shiny and the art is great.
They're
and it's just
leveraging
like,
the power of that thing in the right
it's
ways.
just like,
They're
man,
not trying to make like the levels are not that large.
Yeah.
Have you noticed any difference between like docked and undocked?
No, and I've mostly been playing docked now.
Okay.
I will say that this game makes your fans go in a way that a lot of other Switch games have not. So I don't know.
All right.
But I played that, and then also I've been playing some Fortnite.
Yeah, I've been chipping away at that too.
I've
Yeah.
been playing a video game called Fortnite.
Yeah, apparently that happened.
Which is officially in early access today.
Yeah.
They did early access for the last few days.
Yeah.
Which is like
Which is insane.
a really
Like, I
weird
don't
concept,
understand.
but I think it was like because they've been running this thing in like an NDA'd closed beta for years.
Yeah.
So I think people could buy into that if they were a part of that and play early.
Okay.
So founders.
Oh, that's that. Okay.
Which menu is your favorite menu?
My favorite menu
Ooh.
is probably
Like in-game menu,
the-
like
Like
accessible via like
any of them.
Okay.
Oh, there's so many to choose from.
There's like
Yeah.
40 different menus.
I like the
in this
map
game.
because at least the map is understandable. Man,
There's a lot of on-screen display.
That thing
it throws a
whole
lot
of,
at you.
A lot of systems and mechanics at you
Yeah, you do
without
that,
any
like,
explanation.
You do like the first 2 levels,
Yeah.
and you're like, okay, I get kind of how it works. And
like
then
it's
there's
a tower
point.
defense sort of thing. Like, okay, but I build my own lanes.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And,
Oh,
like,
cool.
it'll
There's traps, and
I know
and
they're coming from the east, so
different
I'm going to
strengths of
build a fort
walls.
that, yeah.
yeah. It feels like they got halfway through making a tutorial for that thing and then didn't finish it, kind of.
Which is crazy because I feel like throughout the NDA beta of that thing, like they rebuilt the onboarding in that thing multiple times. But yeah,
I mean, it is early access. It says that right when you boot it up.
Yeah. Yes.
And like the broad strokes of it are not that hard to understand. You know, like
Right.
it's a 4-player horde mode with some Minecrafty building, some base building. Like, or put it another way, it's like what they were doing with the Gears. As of Gears 3, the horde mode with building all the static defenses and stuff, just like
Right.
taken to another
like a more dynamic,
like built out as a full
building
game. Yeah,
system.
I get a strong Orcs Must Die. vibe
Kind
from
of.
it.
Yeah, sure,
a little bit
for
of
sure,
that,
something
a little
like
bit of
that. But-
and so it's not like an open world game. You
Yeah.
know, you're kind of getting into a level, finding the thing you needed to protect, looting along the way, and then defending the thing, and then you win, and then you go out and launch it all
and
over
then
again.
and then you get some loot boxes
but
at
like
the end
so,
of the mission.
yeah, but
Loot
so,
llamas.
Loot llamas,
yeah,
yes.
which
They
are fun to. I like the look of the game a whole lot.
Yeah, yeah,
I
it's
think
got-
it plays really well.
It's
but,
got
like,
decent sense of humor.
but
got
then
good charm.
it's
Some
got
good-
a
some
lot
good
of
voice acting. I think John DiMaggio's in there.
Okay, yeah, seems like it would be just leftover lines there.
Yeah, sure.
But it's got so like the menus, it's got like a ton of different tech trees, most of which
Yeah.
are locked at the beginning.
Yeah.
You're not really clear on what you're leveling up in those tech trees, and then you unlock the ability. So there's a currency that accrues over time. This makes it so you have to return to the game every few hours to collect that currency before it maxes out, and then you're not accruing it anymore.
Oh, I didn't know that.
And those are research points that you then
So
put
that's
into
research
another
points.
a separate skill tree.
Because there's also skill points.
Then you have
V Bucks.
V Bucks is a paid currency.
Yeah, that's the paid currency.
Then there's survivors that you place onto teams that then also give you kind of passive.
Are teams the same as
bonuses.
squads?
Maybe they're called squads and
Okay.
not teams. But then
What
a
about
lot of the
defenders?
slots on those teams
have
are
defenders.
locked.
And then
And
do
so
these
you have
defenders
to,
do?
You
And
have
you
to
get-
level up the skill tree
Okay.
to unlock more points, more spots for you to put more people in. And there's a
then-
dirt
How do I
bike
upgrade
somewhere
my
on the
llama?
skill
Wow. And
tree.
so I
So I
think-
think I eventually unlocked dirt bike missions, and I'm not even sure what that is.
I'm
But
pretty
that
sure
seems
the,
like it'd
the
be
loot
fun.
llamas drop survivor XP cards.
Yeah,
and
and
use
then so
those
you
to
can
upgrade
level
your
up the
survivors, and
survivors,
that's
and so
different
the
from
survivors-
blueprint
yeah.
XP, which you upgrade
But I
your
have
blueprints
defenders.
with.
But then
What
you
do I
also
do
get
for
XP that you
defenders?
level up the heroes with, and then the heroes are class based. So like I'm playing as Ramirez, which is the first hero, but I got a rare
like
one.
I'm
so
playing.
I thought, like,
I'm playing as Sidewinder Ramirez.
See, I thought about changing
Oh,
over
yeah.
to a different character class,
Yeah.
but then I got a rare Ramirez, and I'm like, well, this is the character from the tutorial, but it's rare, so I guess
What's
I
her
should keep
trait?
playing.
Is
She
chill?
throws grenades.
So you,
I have-
okay.
I have a green Ramirez and 2 blues. I went with one of the blues.
Is it fun?
There
know.
are.
I think so.
I don't know.
I have had 2 years ago. I had a great time with Fortnite, playing it at a pre-E3 event with other people that I knew, and it was this feeling of like, because you set off when the combat's going to start.
Yes.
So it's like this
Yeah.
kind of like very chill vibe
Yeah.
of like I'm gonna go around and break shit to find stuff.
Totally.
Uh,
The way shit breaks in that game is great. It's kind
satisfying.
of you hit it and it
Doesn't
wobbles.
Really good.
Yeah.
I
wobble.
unlocked a skill which is kind of neat, where like you're
The
busting
weak
up
point stuff?
Yeah, you're
Yeah.
busting up like boulders and trees, and they kind of take a long time of hitting with your pickaxe to break. But yeah, you unlock a skill where little weak points will pop up on them.
Huh.
And you hit them, and there's even like a dun dun dun
Yeah.
as you hit each weak point, and the faster you hit them, the faster the thing breaks. It's really satisfying.
Yeah, and it's a good way to make that an active process
yes.
instead of just I'm holding down this button while standing next to this fucking wall.
It's kind of like the active reload.
it's the active
basically.
reload of
It's
that
a way to
game,
make
for
a really
sure.
tedious, repeated action like kind of fun.
or
yeah,
at
it's-
least take less time if
or,
you're
yeah,
good at
yes,
it,
yes.
which works well enough. And so, yeah, when you're communicating with other players and all this other stuff, like it's cool. But then the out of mission experience just feels like a fucking mess.
Yeah, that's where the works get
And so
gummed up.
we have them coming in this week,
Yes.
and I'm really excited to just like sit down and go like, what do you do?
I think they're gonna bring an account with a bunch of stuff unlocked,
Yeah,
because the
like-
skill trees are like a mile long, and there's so much stuff in
but
there.
also, so I've been playing alone since the game kind of came out, and like when you launch the game, like it makes a point to be like, hey, we've got a great community and all this other stuff, and so I'm like, cool, man, I would love to.
That's a weird thing to say, considering everything, they have like MMO style world chat in the
Yeah,
corner
which
where
has not been great.
people are not especially cool.
Well, they had some server issues, which
Yeah.
you know, if
Yeah.
you want to make people act not great,
Yeah.
have your game break.
Yeah.
And
More on that later.
yeah, and so there's a set mission progression. Like I suspect, I feel like it should eventually open up to be like, I want to fight. And then you go in and
Then
do
you
a
can
thing.
just do like repeated.
I
like
assume
repeated-
that's how this will eventually go.
Yeah,
Kind of
'cause-
base level.
Right.
Because early on you can't repeat previous missions.
Yeah.
You can only like
And
play
so,
the
like,
next
I'm
mission.
wondering,
But
it's
there
like,
are
is that
certain
the
missions that you need to
tutorial or what?
complete until you move to the next
Exactly,
area.
and
So I
the
wonder
tech
if there
tree
is
and
going
all
to be
this
like
other
a scripted
So like,
path.
but like, so there is definitely
Yeah.
at this point absolutely a scripted path.
Yes.
And so you match into a mission that. So I'm playing like the 8th mission, and I'm only probably going to get matched with people who are also looking for that 8th mission. And because I was playing when only founders were playing it, and those are the people that have been playing a version of the game for years and years, like they all played past that, I guess, because I suddenly, like, the whole game was silent. World chat was not. I mean, they've had some server problems, so maybe some of it can be chalked up to that. But when the game first launched and they fixed their servers after the first couple hours, I matched into games with people, no problem. And I've not seen another soul since.
Really?
On PS4 or PC.
Okay.
Because I assume I stopped playing for a day, and so I assume no one's on that 8th mission anymore. Maybe now today that it's like slightly wider and more accessible to people, it'll be a little different. But I feel like they've built multiplayer hoppers for every individual mission, right? And so that's like a crazy experience. Like, am I gonna have to count on if someone's starting this game a year from now? Are they going to play alone unless they happen to rope other people into playing the game with them at their pace? Like having to stay with a group just so you can play together. Maybe if you have friends, you get them into a squad. You can play whatever mission you want. I assume that's how it works.
But it doesn't autofill with bots.
Right? No, it does not. You probably wouldn't want it to.
I'm sure.
I mean, actually, Unreal had great bots. Who knows? They've got great AI over there.
I got
the Unreal Engine.
I got into a couple missions with. But I'm I think a little earlier on than you, but I got
so
a couple
in the
of
early
full
days,
games.
I definitely got in with other people and was like, this is good, but also we're not communicating. So like they started the mission earlier than I would have liked.
There's stuff like that. Like the first mission I got into had a bonus objective of don't build more than 30 things on your base.
Same thing happened on that mission.
And we built 30 things for like the entirety of the mission, and then like 45 seconds from the end of the timer, some idiot went and built a 31st thing, and we lost the objective.
Yeah.
It's just like
Dumb.
I'm not playing with randos anymore.
So it definitely seems like a game that if you have a crew of people and like the higher tier versions of the game, because there's a version you can pay over like
150
$150 bucks. Is
that
the most
comes with like
expensive.
4 copies of the game.
Oh wow,
That's like
That's kinda cool.
you're getting an extreme version of the game, and then you get to give away 2 more or something
wow.
like that. So it's like that's not for everyone.
It's the you have to play with me when I ask. Pack.
Exactly. I bought you these damn games. Come on, man. Come on. I've got to level up this Ramirez. But yeah, the number, like you can level up your heroes, you can level up your base, you can level up your squad, your schematics, so many different currencies for each one that are popping out of these llamas, which are the chests. It's
just overwhelming.
Yeah, it is super overwhelming.
And,
for a game that like at its core, when you are physically fucking playing it, is very easy to understand and very fun, except for stuff like, do I have the right gear to craft more bullets?
Yes.
And like,
or the
some of
traps.
the inventory management around the weapons have durability. What do I need to craft another gun? Like I've got a bunch of guns because they sent over a key for the Founders Pack. So I've got like 10 assault rifles. But when those all break, like what do I have to loot to get that stuff? Because it's not always clear.
It's all buried in like 8 layers of menus.
Yeah, and then even in game, like swapping, like, oh, I ran out of ammo for all my weapons and I don't have enough to craft more ammo.
What do I need to craft
What do I
it?
need to craft it? Which weapons? Okay, I need to swap another weapon to this slot, I guess. I guess I'm using a sword because at least I know that'll work until it breaks.
And when there's 8 zombies like pounding on the thing you're trying to protect, you don't have time to dig in there and figure that stuff
especially
out.
on PS4, which it's got. So the progress carries over from between PS4 and PC and Mac,
cool.
I guess. I assume because it's on Mac. But it is not cross-play.
Right.
Yes.
You cannot play PS4 and PC in the same game.
Okay.
But all your progress carries back and forth. Which is something, I guess.
I have not
I know it's
confirmed
weird.
this. I saw, I think it was on the subreddit, somebody saying that the V-Bucks do not carry over between platforms.
I could see
because
that.
that's the paid currency.
Right, and Sony probably has to get a cut of the V-Bucks sold on their platform.
But you can also earn V-Bucks out of chests, right? Or is that just paid?
No, that's
You can get founder bucks.
you get founder
Oh,
books.
that maybe-
right now you
okay.
get founder
Okay.
coins, which are a
Okay.
different thing.
If you can only buy V-Bucks, that's not a problem then. But it's still a
guess.
mess. It's still
yeah.
kind of, it's just too much to keep track of.
It's for a game that's been in development for 9 different years now. Like, fucking however long it's been in development, more than 5, right?
Yeah.
I remember that. I remember that game because if I'm not mistaken, it was the first Unreal Engine 4 game that got announced.
I think it was announced in 2011.
I think is how.
Did I say 10 years? I'm
right.
sorry.
Yeah.
It wasn't that long.
Yeah, for a game that has been in development this long, and with this like a large number of players playing it for multiple years now, it's weird how kind of half-baked some of the concepts feel. And I wonder if they got to a point with it where they're just like, let's put it out wider, get a wider array of feedback so we know what to fix. Like, it's still
I wouldn't be
technically
surprised
early access.
by the time the game comes out, it's a little more distinguishable.
Oh, yeah,
it's a
yeah,
little
yeah.
more easy
I would believe that, but I mean, like, they're saying 2018, so that game is a minimum of 6 months away from, like, an actual release.
But whatever, like, they're taking money, and I think you have to pay to play it right now.
Yes.
It is not actually free to play until 2018.
Yes.
So it is, for all intents and purposes, a game they are selling for money for you to play. So like, there's stuff in some ways where you're just like, that's like, there's some stuff about that. You're like, man, this is really wild.
There's some weird like lack of just fit and finish around some of it. Like some of the quest objectives are like, as they're tutorializing, they're like, go into your skill tree and unlock squads or whatever. And you go do that to fulfill that quest objective. And it's like, I hover over squads, I hit unlock, and like the icon barely changes color to represent that I unlocked it, and that's it. No sound effect, no animation, and I'm just like it doesn't even pop up quest.
Do I need
progress.
to hit confirm? Or what?
It's like, did I just unlock that? Like, is there any feedback whatsoever that I'm interacting with your system?
Yeah,
it's just a weird.
And
thing.
What does it all do?
And then ultimately it's like, okay, now what?
Unlocking squads is a really weird because then there are a bunch of locked slots that seem like. Are you going to get like pets in this game or like other characters that roll with you actively in game? Because there are slots around your hero that seem to imply that might be the case, but that's way down there on the skill tree, past the dirt bike and the boat, and all the other stuff. Like, I don't know. There are elements of that game that have an almost Pixar level of polish, like the visual, like the look of the characters. I think is fantastic.
Like the intro is really well done.
The old robots, like it has a ton of personality.
Yeah,
it's kind of funny in certain parts.
Yeah.
Yeah, totally.
And then there are like video gamey elements around it that you just look at and go like, man, what? So I want to see what the rest of that game looks like when they bring it by, or what the mid game or later stuff looks like if it does open up or what, because it's confusing.
Yes.
In a way that it shouldn't be for a game that like at its core seems like a very simple, easy to understand thing.
Yeah. With a lot of promise.
Yeah. So we'll see.
Check back in 2018, I guess.
Yeah.
I played Pyre.
Yeah.
The new game for
Talk to me
Supergiant.
about Pyre.
Does anybody else here play Pyre at all?
No, I bought it last night, but it doesn't unlock. Well, it unlocked a few hours ago.
I think it's available for everybody now as of this morning.
I played it
a while ago.
I
had managed to not see it at trade shows and stuff, and then at a certain point I was like, I'm just going to continue to not see this until it's out and be surprised by it. And I was surprised.
So I got to sit down and play like their PAX demo with like zero lead up as to what the type of game it was or anything like that. And it was like a really fun, like revelatory experience of just like, wait, is this a point and click adventure? Like trying to figure out, like parse out, like, are they making an adventure game? And then it launches into this whole other thing, and you're like, this is like a sports game. This is like ice hockey for the NES.
So the sports stuff is what I knew about, because you talked about that, and I knew there was this 3-on-3 like mystical quasi sport RPG thing going on. But that's I'm 3-4 hours in or something. Like you do those sports matches. It's the rites, It's
the rites. You perform the rites.
Yes, you're
escaping purgatory.
Yes,
or whatever,
you and a band of misfits are cast into this exile. The downside is the name of this, just kind of like it's a wilderness, like a deserty kind of shitty place to be. And you're performing these sacred rites by playing this magical sport. To secure your freedom. But that's like, every 20 to 30 minutes you play one of those matches, and the entire rest of it is like, I didn't think of it as a visual novel until I saw people calling it that, but like that seems like kind of what it is.
Well, it's like a story. It's like you're kind of on the wagon, like a part of the caravan. And you're kind of like, there's a lot of different characters you can talk to and like choices you can make. Right?
Yeah, there are a ton of choices you make about like routes to take through the wilderness, and those they'll imply what you'll get out of each one. It's like, oh, you might find some rare flora if you go this way, or you might meet a mysterious contact if you go this way. And there, like in your downtime, you can pick like, oh, I want to study this book. You're a reader.
Oh, right.
Yeah.
Okay, yeah. You're
So-
like the only character that can read.
Yeah, like that's one of the things I really like about Supergiant games, and this seems like a very Greg thing, is like how intricate all the world building is.
Yeah.
Like they get into these really complex like social or political or like religious structures, as like a background to what's going on. And yeah, you're living in an empire where like the ability to read is outlawed.
Yeah.
Like knowledge of the old ways is like contraband. It's like forbidden knowledge, and like you are a rare person who can like read the old texts. So these exiles like really want you with them because you can interpret the books. So you spend a bunch of time, like they'll say like, okay, like we got some downtime before the next rite. Do you want to study a book or like go do this other thing? It'll give you this thing, like there's a bunch of stuff around that. But yeah, like it's a lot of high-res, slightly animated character portraits talking at each other, but it's got a ton of personality. It's like,
and they've got some stuff in there like, if you fail at the rights and the other group wins, like the game continues on.
Oh, really?
It is not a
I did not
repeat
know that.
Like there are consequences, like things happen.
Okay.
But the game proceeds.
Wow. Okay. It does, like the story branches a lot. Like
it
not
seems like with the
huge
number
ways,
of characters and kind of it seems like there like a lot of reasons to maybe replay that
That's
game.
kind of what I was getting. I was looking through the trophies, and it implies that like you can liberate party members, because that's the whole quest they're on is to keep performing these rites until they earn the right to return to society.
Yeah.
And yeah, the trophies.
I've talked to people who finished the game, so I'll not get too much deeper.
But
into that
looking at the achievements, it made it sound like you could maybe like free individual party members before the story is over and stuff like that. Like, I already kind of want to go back and play it again just to see how things play out differently.
I heard there's a dog with a mustache.
There is totally. Rookie Greentail is his name.
And
he is a pretty awesome character.
I've heard at one point he says, "Hey, so what do you think about my mustache?" And if you tell him you don't like it, he leaves and comes back without the mustache.
I totally told him that he looked too sleazy with the mustache and he should get rid of it. And he's all like, "Hang on a minute," and portrait fades out and fades back in, and the mustache is gone. And then he gets +1 to hope.
Oh, good.
Because it is like a pretty intricate, like. That's the other thing. Every time they put out a game, I'm always like pleasantly reminded that the people that run this company used to make RTSs.
Yeah, right.
Just like Transistor, like it's full of like skill trees for each character and a bunch of upgrade things that you need to decide on. Like and you can equip talismans on each character that affect different stats. Like there are tons of stats on every character. And yeah, he got a stat bonus by telling him to shave off his mustache.
But I wonder if he would get a different stat bonus.
I don't know.
if
That's
you
the
said
thing. Yeah.
Like, is there a confidence stat or something?
I think the 3 choices were like, no, it looks good. Like, no, you look a little sleazy. And then like, it's not my place to say. And I'm curious how that stuff would play out. It's got like this hotkey kind of system. So it's got the Destiny cursor. It's like a cursor-driven game.
Yeah.
And like. Basically every like proper noun is highlighted and you can hover over it to get like flavor text on it, and they put some like interesting little writing in there.
That stuff's really good.
And in a cool way. That you get to name a character at one point. Like she doesn't remember who she is, and
I heard about this.
She basically tells you what her name rhymes with.
Oh,
and then the game presents like 24 like basically the same name with a different consonant at the beginning.
No, and an A, so it would be like
J. It's like, oh, I remember that my name rhymes with Gray, and then they let you name her like Faye or.
And then there's one that's Bay.
Yeah, Bay is the last. So like all the flavor text is just pretty straightforward, and then Bay is the very last one on the list, and you hover over it, and it's like, surely this couldn't be right, could it? It's got a lot of charm.
That's cool.
In the writing, it seems really interesting so far.
Can't wait to check it out.
It is, and the story, the characters are super well written and like work well together, and it just like it draws you in, and I'm really curious to see where it's going.
I'm curious also to see if people get into the multiplayer.
Yeah, it's got a versus mode. It's not online, but it's got like local.
It's not online.
It's got local versus. It's got versus CPU matches. I think the trophies kind of imply you can actually play like practice matches in the story mode, but then it's got a separate versus mode at the main menu. And I'm curious. It's the sports stuff.
When they announced it, they seemed non-committal for a little bit there about the idea of multiplayer at all. And I was like playing the demo and seeing it for the first time. Came away from it going like this can kind of be esports.
Yeah, it's kind of fun. Like the sport
it's fun.
Like sport thing is fun. Yeah,
yeah.
Sports.
You're passing a ball around. You're dunking. It's
3-on-3. Like only the character that holds or no, I'm sorry, only one character on your team can move at a time,
Mm-hmm.
whether they have the orb or not. But they have different abilities, and yeah, I mean it's pretty
I heard there are dunks.
more or
Yeah,
less.
yeah.
Yeah. You can basically jump over people and slam the orb into the pyre.
Yeah.
This fantasy league, I can get behind. I think.
Yeah.
You can also shoot the orb. Like the main thing is to carry it in, but yeah, you can jump it in or you can shoot it. And
Shooting an orb is a classic video game
That's
move.
right.
I'm glad they've brought it back.
and also the farther you shoot the orb from, the more points you get.
Okay.
So yeah, it is a sport.
It's rock and jock.
How much of
Yeah.
the game
Pyre.
is that? And
It's
how much is
like I said,
visual novel?
it's been kind of 80-20 story to
Really?
sports so far.
Okay.
Like you think about it in terms of like the rights are like the thing that resolves the current situation and
Yeah.
you move forward one way or the other. So
Yeah.
it's like the stuff is like, I mean, correct me if I'm wrong, but it's like there's a lot of like talking and stuff because it's like the night before you're going to
Yeah.
play the game and you're going over deciding how you're going to spend that time and you know what you're going to do, which player, which you know
Yeah.
characters you're going to put in
Okay.
because they'll have different abilities and stuff, and how, and then you play it out.
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
cool how
Uh,
different all of these games.
Yeah,
all of
it
these
is
different-
extremely different from anything they've done before, and also like most games that I've played. Like
Yeah.
it's a crazy mashup.
I would
of
imagine
ideas.
that there's that. I wonder if that ratchets up the pressure in a lot of ways
Yeah.
in terms of just like,
Yeah.
'cause they're, you know, obviously like some of the tools carry over, but they're really kind of building these things from the ground up.
Totally. And like, you know, they could have played it super safe at some point and made Bastion 2 or whatever, but like
and they still
like,
could. I mean, you know,
Oh
like,
yeah. But
I,
like
you know, I would not begrudge them, like, especially like now that they've kind of established, you know, a handful of games here.
Yeah.
Like if they said like, actually, you know, if they came and said we've decided the time is right to revisit Bastion, I'd be
Totally.
like, sure,
Yeah.
fucking let's go.
I'm sure it's kind of scary
but-
to make something like this that is just this weird mixture of ideas that they've never done before, and it's like, are people gonna like this?
I think Transistor was the same way.
Yeah.
You know, like I feel like the reaction to Transistor was a little more mixed
Yeah.
than this was.
Yeah.
Than
I
this
still haven't
has
played
been.
it. I gotta go back.
Transistor's good.
Yeah.
Though I
Yeah.
love the world of Transistor and the storytelling and all the other stuff, but like at some point the combat, like I just
I think combat was what turned.
that's what fell.
Yeah.
I fell away from it.
Yeah. I think that's what turned
Through
people off
the gameplay.
in that game.
But I like it's one of those things I love in theory, like looking at the systems and going like, okay, how you put it all together, you put all that combat together, and like this is really intricate and kind of amazing.
Yeah.
And at some point, I was like, it's going to be intricate and amazing over there.
Yeah.
I'm going to go play a different thing for a while, and just kind of never got back to it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
They do a really interesting thing or a cool thing in the story where like they could have made super cheesy sports team stuff, and they do that without being cheesy. If
That's
that
cool.
makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like
Seems like a hard line to walk.
yeah, totally. Like you're the Nightwings, but you're not actually the Nightwings because it seems like your band of misfits has actually like assumed the identity of a team called the Nightwings.
Weird. Okay.
So if I'm gathering it correctly, like everybody thinks you're the original Nightwings and not actually like these pretenders. But I can't remember the name of any of the other teams, but like, yeah, everybody's got their own colors. Everybody's got like this high school mascot sounding
They're
name.
gangs, man.
Yeah, but it doesn't
they're-
come off as overly ridiculous. Like
Yeah.
it all works in the context of the story really well. It's a fascinating world. I'm dying to get through the rest of the story.
Yeah.
I think that's it. Anything else come out this week? I think I'm pretty sure that's it.
That's how I've been
Yeah.
spending most of my time.
Yeah.
A little bit of Battlegrounds.
Yeah.
But a lot more Splatoon.
Yeah,
Play any
a lot
more
more Splatoon.
any near Route B stuff?
No, I finished Route A, and I'm just kind of
Let it rest for a little bit.
I'll get to it, but yeah, it has not been top of mind.
Yeah.
For sure.
All right. I'm going to decree a break,
Yay.
and then we'll come back and talk about some other stuff. All right, let's move on to the news of the world. Some stuff happened.
What happened, Brad?
I thought we were going to have to scrape the barrel because Gamescom was coming up and everybody was holding back stuff for that. We got a few things here.
What you
Super NES Classic pre-orders kind of went up on Walmart Friday night, sort
Got
of, I think,
mine.
maybe. Yeah, for now.
Yeah, for now. Some people have been receiving cancellations,
Yeah.
right?
Yeah, some people, it sounds like as of Saturday morning, people's pre-orders were starting to get canceled.
Should check my email. Make sure.
The product listing didn't even last long. Like, I think Dan popped into our
Yeah.
Slack channel Friday night going like, hey, SNES Classic pre-orders are up. And like,
Yeah,
by the time I got to the website, it was just like, sorry, there's no product here or something like just.
So there were a ton of people on Twitter talking about it as it went up, and it seemed like there was like over half an hour. And so around the end of that half an hour, like I finally was like, well, I guess, and then went ahead and pre-ordered one.
Yeah.
And I've not seen any cancellation or anything like that. But like minutes after I did is when the page disappeared, like all this other weird stuff.
So there's a screenshot floating around that somebody took of their live chat with a Walmart customer service person who said that the pre-order page had gone live in error.
Oh.
But not everybody's had their thing canceled, so that may not even be accurate. Who knows?
And also that screenshots could be fake.
Yes, that could be
who
fake. I
knows?
mean,
Who
I don't
knows?
know I don't know who would bother to fake such a thing, but it's the internet.
They have not canceled 100% of the orders. I still have one in their system.
Some people definitely still have one. I, like an idiot, went and tried to get one, even though I have no desire to actually own that thing. So
Yeah,
that's-
stop.
Such is the power of this nonsense.
That was the
life's
back
too
and
short,
that was
man.
the back and forth for me of just like I used that NES Classic twice,
Yeah.
and once was to record a video here.
Yeah.
But then I thought, well, it'd be cool to own the thing that Star Fox 2 is on. So
That's true. I
get
think about
that,
it
but-
way.
that's kind of
I'm
the
just
only.
excited. A lot of those are like in my top 15 greatest video
fantastic
games of all
collection of-
time.
of games,
so
for
like,
sure.
Yeah.
the
Sure.
ability to just like plug it, like have a like this weekend, when I got home from the fair, just if I could like, I'm just gonna play some Super Mario World.
Yeah,
and hop in and play it.
I hate to be that guy, but that method exists already.
Yeah, sure.
Like
but,
I own all
like,
those carts, so I don't even have to feel bad about saying that. Like it's just.
There's something about.
Yeah, I get it.
Also, like it'd be on my TV, which I don't have.
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
Have they said what the cord length is on the thing?
They did. It
It's.
was.
I believe it's
but-
longer, but still not.
Still
like,
not great.
Yeah.
Still, I'm out of ports, man. I'm out of fucking room under
Yeah,
my
that's
TV.
the thing for me. Yeah, I've got nowhere to put it
don't
and nothing to
need-
plug it into.
yeah.
Like it's just not realistic to have all these extra little boxes sitting around.
Did you guys see the patent stuff for the N64 classic controller?
What?
Yeah.
Does that seem legit?
I don't know.
What?
There was like leaked
Hang on.
information that Nintendo had patented a N64 controller
Why wouldn't they already have the
thing.
patent?
But no, this is like a new version of it,
Okay.
quote unquote, which would presumably be for an N64 classic.
Let's see if I can find a picture of this.
Which made me try to think of 15 games I would like to see on an N64 classic. And I started dipping into like stuff only I would want, like Space Station, Silicon Valley,
Yeah, I think it didn't.
That'd
We
be-
talked
that
about
would
that.
be a good one to put on
I think when the SNES got announced, but like
or Mystical
I just don't
Ninja.
think those games hold up very well.
No.
there.
Except
Yeah.
for maybe the handful of 2D games.
I
on
mean,
the
if you
N64
if you
would,
got to, if they could do the work to get a golden eye on that thing,
yeah.
Which holds up great.
blast cores, which
I mean, there's a handful of
Jet
but like
Force
people
Gemini.
have
Like, obviously,
ugh.
No, I was
Ugh.
being
No, I
facetious.
know.
Okay.
Mario 64 and Zelda obviously still
Right.
totally playable.
Yeah.
Both
But-
Zeldas.
Yeah,
But
well,
a lot of
but
those-
also like, even those games, like
There-
Ocarina is a fantastic game, but it's bumpy in some ways. If
Yeah.
you go back to it now.
Play Link's Awakening instead.
Also,
Right,
there is
yeah.
a better version of that game on the 3DS that you should
Right.
play
Yep.
instead.
Yeah, yeah.
Also,
Also, like the idea of miniaturizing an N64 and like that playing an N64 on a not N64 is totally doable, but not at a standard that you would necessarily feel comfortable
Wait, really?
selling in some cases.
really?
Like it's getting better.
Oh wow! I thought that would have just been like solved by now.
No, definitely
Really?
not. Like
because I was. I mean, this is not necessarily like it's apples and oranges to some extent,
Yeah.
but I was watching pretty good footage of Demon Souls running on PC yesterday.
yeah.
Like,
Yep.
PS3 emulation is that far along. I figured N64. was just,
N64
like,
is
done.
past that. But it's definitely not done.
Really?
There's a lot of quirks and weird stuff. Well, and also like you go all the way back to I was talking about this last week, and if you go all the way back to like the beginnings of N64 emulation, Ultra HLE, and all that sort of stuff, and some of the things that came in its wake, like it created this style of emulator where people develop plugins for them, and it's like I got a new graphics plugin.
Oh,
Yeah, like that's a big thing on Dolphin, right?
Yeah, and but then that's a lot of that is the N64 emulation specifically was built that way.
Okay.
And PS2 stuff's that way, but it's led to a lot of cases where like this game runs perfectly with this set of plugins, but not this one, and there's a lot of really weird shit. And now the computers are more powerful. So they've got more overhead to play with and all that other stuff.
More powerful every day.
Exactly.
It seems like. It's crazy.
And so you have a lot of developers now going back and kind of righting a lot of those wrongs that were made along the way, but a lot of it is really entrenched. And whatever, like that stuff is getting better, and most people wouldn't notice, I guess. But at the end of the day, like, I don't know that. Well, and maybe Nintendo would just say fuck it, and they just would put the chips in it, and it would just be a goddamn N64.
Yeah.
Maybe they could do that. I don't know. But also maybe they know how all that stuff works perfectly, so they be able to emulate it at a rate better than some of this other stuff.
Or I mean, you could put in an entire N64 on a chip these days easily.
Yeah.
If they designed and produced it.
But that's not something that's like a little. That aspect of it seems a little iffy for me.
I bet a big part of the appeal of these existing ones is they can just take like off the shelf stuff. Because I forget what was in I forget what it was that was in the NES Classic, but it was like a familiar, like arm chip or something like that.
And I feel like that this SNES will probably have the exact same gear in it.
I think that was the speculation.
Or maybe they did issue specs. I forget, but anyway.
I feel like I read that it was the exact same thing.
I feel like people made that NES Classic run SNES games at some point. So
I remember reading it was way more powerful than you needed to run NES games.
Yeah. Anyway, it's interesting. But like you think about like what games would you put on a miniaturized N64?
Mario, Zelda.
Okay.
Zelda.
No.
Yeah, I guess.
Sure.
Mario Kart.
Pokemon Snap.
I mean, you would have to put
Stadium.
You have to put Star Fox 64 on there. That's,
yeah, sure. Great.
Sin and Punishment.
But see, then you like go
Smash.
from
Tetrasphere.
That's the thing. Like
there's like
the
5
SNES,
or 6 must-have games.
The tier 1 games, like that game, that the SNES Classic has like 10 tier 1 games that like everyone wants on a SNES Classic.
I still am. I think it's fucking scandalous that they capped it at 21 on this thing. Like there are so many good Super NES games they could have put on there.
But like the N64, there's like 5 tier 1 games total.
Get some Banjo in there.
I don't know, man.
But also,
there's better ways to play that.
Play it on
Also
Xbox
don't-
One or
don't
whatever.
play it.
Yeah. Also,
I'm not
don't
saying-
play it. Also, the rights
I don't
issues
like
around
Banjo.
Microsoft
Oh yeah.
owning Banjo
Yeah.
might make that weird. I don't know.
Yeah.
Also, you've already got Mario 64 on there. Do you really need Banjo as well?
They could put Donkey Kong 64 on it.
What was that one fighting game?
I mean, Mario
with all
Kart.
the big guys, and it was rated M. It was like God of War, but not God of War.
War Gods.
War Gods.
Oh God, War Gods.
Don't
Put
bring
War
that game
Gods
up.
on there. My grandpa got me War Gods, and my mom made me return it
It
Why?
was too violent.
because it was
Too
rated
much?
M.
Oh wow,
Yeah, that's. I mean,
As a baby boy.
and also it was a terrible game.
man.
Also
That was,
probably
wow,
saved
that was
me.
like strictly enforced in your house.
And instead, you got Bio Freaks.
I was like 10 or 11, and it was
Yeah.
like, and if she like didn't see it when my grandpa gave it to me, like I'm sure she wouldn't care.
Yeah.
But she was just like, and I think I got Jet Force Gemini instead or
Okay.
something like that, which was a great trade up.
I
That
think
game is very good.
Oh yeah.
It's got a dog who gets a jetpack.
I think
I'm gonna say that Jet Force Gemini. There are some cool things.
The tribals,
about
they're like,
I think the extent of that conversation in my house was like right after the congressional hearings happened. Like I think I was playing Mortal Kombat 2 in my room at one point.
She came in and just stripped it out.
No, my dad like walked down the hall. He like stuck his head in one day. He was like, "Those things aren't going to warp you, are they?" And I was like, "Nope." He was like, "All right, good." He walked off. And that was
My mom rented Resident Evil 4 for herself to play and didn't want me to play it because it was too violent. But I came home one night and saw it sitting there, not knowing that she had rented it for herself to play.
I'm trying to.
And I started playing it, and she was like, "Yeah, no, it's."
I'm
fine,
trying to
go
wrap
ahead."
my head around the paradox of having a mom cool enough who want to play
Dude.
RE4, but not cool enough to keep you from playing it.
My mom's a real ass gamer. My mom like almost beat that game before I did. She got Breath of the Wild
Wow.
before me.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Maybe we should have hired your mom.
Well, yeah. I mean,
Let's move on. Target apparently tweeted recently that they are going to open pre-orders for the SNES Classic sometime soon. So be on the lookout for that, I guess.
I hate that.
Or don't.
I hate that this is already back to
Yeah.
Yeah.
the fucking
Yeah.
land grab. Like, oh god, I better get it.
Yep. That was basically why I did it on Friday.
The
Well, it
idea
was
that they
always
were out
really-
there saying that they were going to make more, but here we are. Right
it's
back. I mean,
always
of
going to
course,
start
of
with
course.
this.
Yeah.
But like the true test will see if this continues on, and once multiple people open up pre-orders and stuff like
Yeah.
that, and if
Yeah.
it kind of settles at that point.
I mean, what was it they said? I think they said they are making more than the NES, but that it is still limited to this big
Holiday
initial
season.
shipment.
Yeah,
Like
yeah.
they're not going to keep selling it next year.
Yeah.
So
So limited by
Yeah.
design.
Yeah.
I guess. I don't know. That's a mess.
Yeah.
That thing should come with download codes for all those games on a Switch.
they should just make a thing called the Nintendo,
There you go.
and you put it's an NES Classic.
There's no
it's a
such
SNES
thing
Classic.
as a Nintendo. It's a Nintendo brand entertainment console.
Now it is. Now it's the Nintendo.
Now you're playing with the power.
It's got the Mario,
Mm-hmm.
the Zelda.
It's got the Zelda. You can play as him. Zelda. He's right there. He's an elf boy. Murders the pig man. Go on.
yeah. As
Buck
mentioned,
Bumble should be on an N64
Okay.
Hell
Classic.
yes.
Yeah. All right. Or
But
at least
just the music.
at least the theme song. Yes. That should be the background music of the menu.
Yeah.
Of the game switcher. As we mentioned, Gamescom is coming up in a couple weeks. THQ Nordic has put out a little statement on their website about the stuff they're going to be showing. No Darksiders on that list again.
Damn.
After Darksiders missed E3, I was hoping it would be a Gamescom, but nope.
I can't remember. Was that an official announcement?
Yeah, like
Okay,
they
yeah.
did like a big IGN
Reveal,
cover
yeah.
story thing, which makes me wonder if there wasn't much more game to show than that because
Yeah.
now it's missing all these trade shows. I mean, they've got some of their other announced stuff, but the main thing is that they mentioned they will have 2 new games that have not yet been announced.
Oh, cool.
The first new announcement is a brand new original IP. This open world RPG is set in a unique universe and will be a post-apocalyptic kung fu fable.
Okay.
Which
They had
Okay.
lost me up until Kung Fu.
yeah,
actually.
that sounds all right. And then the second new announcement is a new installment of a well-known, mysterious, and horrific IP. What is it?
Who's got
THQ
what-
Nordic.
What THQ? What horror game franchise did THQ have?
I don't know if they bought the entire portfolio
think
or
they
not. I think a lot of
did.
it went different directions
Yeah.
because like Deep Silver or whatever ended up with
Yes,
like Saints Row and some of that stuff. So
But I'm trying to think. But it would have been a THQ game because that's where they got all their IPs from, right?
they had some going in. I mean, Nordic Games has been around
That's true.
for a while.
Yeah,
so
that's-
it could be
that's
one
fair.
something that
I mean,
they
just let's get more broad. What are some mysterious, horror-y kind of older games that we haven't seen in a while?
Yeah.
Nightmare Creatures.
That is a THQ game, isn't it? Isn't that the Wii?
Did they publish it?
Isn't that the game with the?
I feel like
scorpion?
that, like in my head, Nightmare Creatures is somehow like an Infogram
Oh, you might be
sort
right.
of game.
What was that
Yeah.
one N64 game that had like effects when you went crazy?
Yeah, that's the other thing when I keep thinking.
Eternal Darkness?
Eternal
Eternal
Darkness.
Darkness.
Yeah.
I'm trying to pull up our THQ page, but
Yeah.
website's being slow. That's what I get Will on the phone. Yeah, I can't think of. I don't know. Like Atari still has Alone in the Dark, right? It couldn't be that. I don't think.
Yeah.
Maybe
Maybe they bought Zombies Ate My Neighbors from Konami.
Okay, all right.
And
It's New Fester's Quest.
yeah.
Who's got Dante's Inferno? I know it's not
That's
a horror
EA.
game.
That was
but
EA.
That's EA.
Yeah. Okay, got the THQ page up, but
What about Manhunt?
Yeah, they somehow got, yeah.
yeah, I don't. There are like no obvious horror games at all on this THQ.
Well,
page.
mysterious and horrific
Yeah.
are the two. That's-
Yes, a
yeah.
well-known, mysterious, and horrific IP.
Horrific IP could mean a lot.
Yeah, that's true. Also, yeah, maybe they went out and
It's a sequel to Buck Bumble, weirdly enough.
maybe they've gone out and
Slow,
done some.
gritty reboot of the
Yeah.
song over the trailer.
They could have
What
done.
about now?
They could have gone out and done some deal behind the scenes to pick up some IP.
Bigoted Buck. That's the whole-
It's just like shooting a gun and crying.
yeah.
This is
It's a
horrific.
man in a bee outfit hiding behind cover.
Anyway,
I've only got one shot and then I die.
a gun with like a fucking giant Mach 5 razor bolted to the bottom of it. Let's shave these grubs.
Anyway, expect 2 new games from new fake THQ.
Maybe this will be the show where they say we're THQ now,
Maybe
and
they
the
just drop
transition will
Nordic.
be
Yep.
complete.
They're getting there fast.
That seems like a 2018 thing.
Yeah. But yeah, no later than 2018. They are really like they changed to the THQ logo, right?
Yeah.
Like that the final that last THQ logo is what they're using now.
Yeah.
Big posts from the PlayerUnknown's Battlegrounds people today about the next update, which does not include vaulting. So who cares?
Oh.
Come on, Brendan.
Sounds like, yeah, seriously. Let's fix those bugs. Actually, yeah, they are fixing a bunch of bugs in this update. That's kind of that's when the first person only servers will be rolling out along with this next update, it sounds like. A field of view slider. Also, they're doing esports at Gamescom.
Yeah.
They're doing an 80-player, they're teaming up with ESL, and they're doing an 80-player tournament.
Cool.
Singles?
It says the Gamescom PUBG Invitational will include solo mode, duo first-person perspective mode, and squad mode.
Squad.
It says all those modes are going to be spread across a 4-day event where the best overall score from 3 games played will determine the winner. Seems like kind of a weird system, but
What is your
Oh, you know,
score?
I guess your kills?
It's, you know,
Kills and hits.
hits and
The stuff that
rankings.
earns you points?
Yeah.
Okay.
Do they aggregate that into like just a point
At the end,
system?
yeah.
I
you
never
definitely
pay
are-
attention
yeah.
to anything but kills.
Yeah.
But
Monster.
yeah, so this will be our first chance to kind of see how they're going to be handling the esportsy stuff
Presentation wise,
around
like
that.
they'll have the spectator mode.
Yeah, like see how the
jump
spectator stuff
around.
works.
Yeah,
and
they had that. They
how they
had that
commentate
one invitational, and they've really not done anything
Yeah.
since.
yeah.
Mhm.
I'm super curious to just see kind of like what the tone of the commentary is going to be like.
Yeah.
When is this?
This starts on. Oh gosh, I don't. August 23rd to 26th.
Okay, so after the international. Good.
Yeah,
I'm gonna watch this.
Oh, actually, that's a good month off for now. $350,000 is the total prize pool
Not bad.
at this thing.
Hmm.
That's kind of all the details about the tournament. They are also rolling out some new chests.
Yeah. The crates and keys.
Yeah.
They're going the
Oh,
fucking keys
man,
route.
I was all excited to hear there was new loot in that game, and then I heard there were keys, and now I kind of don't want any part
Remember
of it.
keys?
Yep.
Yeah, it's such a weird
Oh,
thing.
they're so
that, like-
bad.
Like, I feel like everyone had good reasons to stop using keys in their game.
Yep.
Whether it was like a money laundering thing or
Yes.
like what was it roped in at all with like China hating blind boxes?
Maybe. That
Like,
might have been part of it.
But or am I just conflating those two things? But either way, like it's weird. So yeah, I think what is it? They're rolling out 3 new crates. 2 you can open for nothing, but
Yeah.
1 will cost $250 for a key. To open.
Like just the
I think Rocket League's doing something like that too.
Really?
Like
Yeah.
key system.
like just on an emotional level, like getting an item and then having to go buy another
Yeah.
item to use it is
That's
just like
deflating
it's
as
just not
shit.
it's crap. It's not good.
But then they went and added fucking sick fucking tracksuits and other items that they say are inspired by the film Battle Royale.
Oh.
Yeah, but not licensed from, so
Okay,
which
see-
seems kind
no.
of strange.
And they've got a new slogan, right?
Let me pull up that. Yes, they do. Let me. Oh, I should have left that tab open.
Yeah, man. Like
It's-
I remember you could. So there was a website you could use to bet Dota items against other people.
Oh yeah.
And
It's fun.
keys were always like the hottest thing to bet. Like you would bet 1 key up against like 20 chests.
Yeah.
And so keys just grew into this really weird.
It became like the currency
Yes.
because it had a real money equivalent. You always knew what a key was worth in straight up bucks. So if you were going to launder some money, you need to establish a valuation for everything, and keys became the thing. So yeah.
So it's, we'll see how long it lasts here.
Safer than Ethereum, am I right? Woo!
I wonder what happened to the keys that people had when they stopped rolling out keys.
I want to say they got converted somehow.
To like a random
Like
new
they-
chest or something.
I don't know if it was just a direct conversion into the chest that they opened or not. I want to say they
Hopefully they treated people right there.
gave you something, if I remember. I'm trying to open some of these screenshots here.
But like, how far
you
does
should
it,
click
would they have
on them.
needed to go to do right by people?
Just a good item.
Yeah.
Further than they were willing to
like
go.
do right by people that are not laundering money with your system.
Exactly,
yeah.
If they get a bunch of crates for stuff for a game they don't play, then it's like, well, you're the ones who perverted this fucking system. So
Yeah, so there is a new tagline on these screenshots of these new items, and it is, not just a game, this is Battle Royale, which, at the same
Seems
time...
like them getting out in front of all the other modes of games that are going to be called Battle Royale mode.
Yeah.
And that's been the subgenre has been called this for a while. This is not new. So.
And this is them saying, we are it.
I wish
this is it.
I think that they should actually go a step further and really actually just license Battle Royale.
Yeah, they totally should have.
Film,
That is totally where all these costumes are from, right? There's like schoolgirl outfits and the tracksuit and
They've
like
got the money now.
Yeah.
like I have shamefully never seen that movie.
It's really good.
Oh, it's good. I think it's on.
It's everywhere. I checked over the weekend. It streams on.
It's worth watching.
A whole bunch
it
of
is,
services.
It is probably
Yeah.
still worth watching.
Yeah,
I saw it for
would
the
say.
first time like 2 years ago.
And then maybe watch, treat yourself and watch The Condemned, starring Stone Cold Steve Austin.
Okay.
Another movie that might as kind of well be Battle Royale,
All right.
but not as good. But in some ways better, but definitely not as good.
Is it better or worse than the Hunger Games?
I've never seen The Hunger Games. I don't care about no Hunger
Just like
Games.
throw out it's probably
It's
better,
probably
right?
better.
Yeah. It's got
if
Stone Cold
going
in it.
going by most of the stuff I've seen of The Hunger Games.
The Stone Cold ranking of
I'm
films.
just saying that the name Stone Cold Steve Austin carries a lot more weight than Katniss.
PETA.
Like
There's a guy
the
named
ethical
PETA.
treatment. Oh, like the animal people.
The best
They like
part
the
of
bread.
Expendables 1 is watching an on fire Stone Cold Steve Austin be punched in the face.
That sounds
Superman
really-
punched in the face.
I have not seen the Expendables.
These are some good outfits. I want these.
Now you should treat yourself to
Yeah.
watching the Expendables.
Finally, they put hats in Battlegrounds.
Thank
Finally.
God.
Finally.
I
I'm
got
so
two.
mad I
I got
didn't redeem my
two sets
Twitch.
of. I'd opened my reward crate,
Yeah.
and it was leather gloves that I already had.
Yep.
And now I got to sell them and get 8 cents or 6 cents or whatever it is.
I got the Waldo shirt, so I think I'm happy for a while.
Nice work. Nice work.
But yeah, there's a weird lack of loot in that game for how popular it is.
I mean, you look at it and you go like, that's only a matter of time.
Oh, totally.
Like,
Yeah,
that
totally.
always felt
Yeah.
like something that they would definitely get to with the way that. I mean, obviously the way it all lists in your inventory as tradable, sellable things.
Oh,
You're
yeah.
like, oh, they're gonna
that's gonna.
they're gonna make a bunch of money selling the game.
They're gonna make.
But they're gonna eventually
make
make
so much more money. Yep.
on fucking people selling items back and forth.
Yeah.
And now I guess keys.
Apparently, yeah, that's a bummer. We'll see how long that lasts, but hasn't worked out well for anybody else.
But I wonder, like, the keys are specifically tied to a crate that is tied to the Gamescom Invitational.
I think it's called the Gamescom Invitational
So
Crate, which makes me
maybe
wonder
that's-
if it's like an Overwatch style
Is
limited
this going,
time
or
crate.
it makes me wonder if this is something that goes into the prize pool. But I guess they
Maybe.
announced what the prize pool was, the
Yeah.
350K. They didn't
Yeah.
say,
Yeah.
hey, 8% of key sales,
Yeah,
whatever.
that would be that would be a great way to create artificial scarcity in your item economy if those chests are only available for like 2 weeks or
Yes.
something.
A great way.
Great way for them.
A great way for them.
Yeah, they would love to see those items selling for $50 to $100.
They're
after
like,
the fact,
man, it's great to see these trench coats going for $200
Yeah.
occasionally. But what if we had a lot more of those?
considering they get a cut of all the marketplace sales.
Yeah. I wonder if that's based on the sale price of the item or if that's just a per transaction basis.
I'm not sure
What the cut is.
Do you know?
No.
Okay.
All right.
I've never actually known that. They're redoing Chun-Li in Marvel vs. Capcom
At
Infinite.
least.
Fix that face.
At least, yeah.
And potentially other characters. The game that is coming out in less than 2 months.
Yeah.
That's what they should have announced at Evo. That would have fixed everything.
Standing ovation.
And they held it for Comic-Con instead. Like, had
Yeah.
Ono get out there and
Yeah.
this is an IGN
No, they
story.
announced Abigail, dude. Like, what are you talking about? They had the perfect announcement at Evo.
I don't remember that. That
He's
didn't
real
happen.
big.
I finally saw a screenshot
Huh.
of him, and man, yeah, that is a large character.
I don't get so like
He's 2 Kens.
so people were like, oh, in those screenshots you saw like V-Trigger Abigail, so he was bigger. Real Abigail's not as big. And then they said, here's the screenshots of regular Abigail, and he's 2 Kens. And I'm like, what the fuck are you people talking about? Maybe he's just bulkier,
Yeah.
but like he's still like a gigantic.
Sorry, go ahead.
It looks like a bad boss
Fixing Chun-Li?
character.
Yeah,
Anyway.
he looks bad.
Yeah, Ono got out there at Comic-Con.
Dressed as what? Who?
Abigail.
Okay.
The development team is hard at work finishing the game for the September 19th release date, and based off the feedback we heard, we are currently making improvements to Chun-Li as well as other Capcom characters. Since the work is still in progress, we don't have anything final to show you just yet, but stay tuned.
God damn.
This is at a time where a game that is coming out on disc would have to be getting submitted for
Yes, I believe I saw the headline
Approval very
somewhere that it
soon.
was a day one art
This
DLC.
is going to be an art download for this game.
Great.
They had to fix her boob jiggle in
Yeah.
5.
Yeah, that's right.
Oh,
That's
yeah, that's right.
Actually,
yeah.
true. Yeah, people were complaining about that.
So yeah, like you were saying before the podcast, like if you get a disc copy of this game,
Then you can always
you
delete
will
all the
have
patches
access.
and see the sweet old art.
you will have
if
access
that's
to
how
the,
it goes.
the
I wonder.
crappy old
yeah.
art if you want.
They're probably not quite in submission yet, right? I mean,
No, not yet, but
yeah.
this is just seems pretty late to be redoing a bunch of art. That seems dangerous.
Dante, I think is another one I hope they fix. He looked a little questionable.
Yeah.
Up close, yeah.
These those other Capcom characters.
I still maintain, like, in motion, that game looks pretty good.
Yeah.
Is it worth talking about roster, or has that all leaked so thoroughly that
We've talked about it, I think, on
Okay.
the podcast before.
they announced
but yeah,
Spider-Man, Frank West, Resident Evil 3 Nemesis, and Mike Hager
Yeah, and I think
Yeah.
that lines up with previous leaks
I think
as well. So,
all right.
running a leaky ship over there.
Yeah.
still,
It's the Capcom
characters
way.
we've
Yeah.
seen in other games,
Yeah.
other Marvel games before. So it's like, I don't know.
There's only so many to go around.
Yeah.
It turns
There's
out.
only so many Capcom characters
Yeah.
when you aren't making new ones.
yes, there are fewer by the day. Ben, what the hell happened with this Pokemon Go Fest?
They started chanting, "Fix the game,
Okay.
fix the game, fix the game," because they held.
Well, why didn't they fix the game? I mean, the people were chanting. Like, that's all it takes, right?
Sounds like a political.
They should have.
convention.
They should have fixed
They
it.
should've.
That's what
Somebody
I
should
think.
have dressed up like
You want my hot
Pikachu,
take? They should have made the game work.
Came out and said,
That's
yeah,
a
we're working
brave
on it.
stance
Thank
to
you.
hold.
Thank you.
And I appreciate your valor.
Thank you. I pride myself in speaking truth to power.
Yes.
As our resident millennial liaison.
Yeah.
Do you know anybody who still plays Pokemon Go?
Yeah.
Yeah?
So they had the first ever Pokemon Go festival in Chicago.
Yeah.
And I was kind of following the story as we were driving to the fair, and a couple of my friends who were in the car I knew were active Pokemon Go players, so I was like relaying the story as it happened. But basically, so they said they were going to announce the first legendary Pokemon coming to Pokemon Go. This was like the big draw for the event. $20 to get in, although I heard it sold out pretty quick, and there were people scalping tickets for like 100. And they were like, "Great news, everyone! Here's Lugia." I look around as
Luigi,
if
I
I'm
think is what
going
it's
to
called.
get any
Yeah.
help here.
Luigi is the pronunciation.
But the big blue guy with the like, it's a big blue dog.
Wait. Papio?
No,
No.
Blue from Blue's Clues.
Oh, blue. Okay.
That's who you're
Blue
thinking
from.
of.
Okay, right. Sorry. Yeah.
But the bad thing was the game didn't work for half the people. They just couldn't connect. Kind of like the problems people were having on day one of that game.
Yeah. I wonder if you probably just get like enough people in a single area trying to play the game.
Yep.
Oh yeah.
And they've had big events, but
And like all
probably not
pulling
big
their
like
phone
this.
out at the same time
Right.
to get this legendary Pokemon.
Yeah, I've got a write up from The Verge in front of me that says that a lot of it was just straight up cell network. Because even at like a D3 or a PAX or whatever, like cell signal not especially reliable
Yeah.
on a
But
show floor.
You go to think for a game that is huge enough to have its own festival, tied to such a like amazing IP as Pokemon, and it's your first time holding this festival for a game that has had rapid user loss, and a history of bad connection issues.
Yeah.
That they would have gone through every protocol. I mean,
Get AT&T on the phone and be like, "Can you build some
we'll
cell
give you $1 billion
towers here?
Just give us all the juice.
We need it bad over here."
And no, yeah, half the people couldn't play their favorite game that they all went all the way to Chicago to play.
Yeah.
At the
Yeah, that's
festival.
the thing where and whatever. Like they refunded everybody's money
Yes.
and what they gave everybody $100 in in-game
Pokemon coins. Yeah,
coins. Which okay,
Yeah.
sure.
that's they made good from after they fucked up.
Not if you traveled from outside of Chicago.
Yes.
Like if you were like, well, we decided to plan a vacation around this event, which I think is insane. But hey, some people would do that, and some people certainly
I'm going
did.
to Chicago in a while. There is a music festival happening, and I want to go to that. But I'm mostly going for Chicago, so I can see people doing the same thing for this Pokemon Go thing.
Yeah. Yeah. So that's hard to win back.
They were booing
with $120 worth of stuff.
They were booing the CEO when he walked on stage and chanting, fix the game, and we can't play, which
at some point, I get, yeah, but also like that's not.
Also, it's not a game.
Well,
It's not really a game.
it's barely. Yeah, no, I
There's
mean
that.
they still can't play.
It's a bummer.
I get why people would be fucking angry. They should have planned better. This should have gone better.
Yeah.
Based on they knew the exact number of people that would be there.
Yes.
They should have thought about that, or done better, or had backup plans in place to scale quickly or
it's
whatever.
not like they didn't
But-
try, but they
yeah.
obviously didn't do something right.
Yeah. Sure. Yeah. But also at the same time, people like that's not how any of this like. What is he supposed to? Oh shit! Hang on, let me make a call. Hey, can you make it work?
No.
Don't worry, guys, I got it. Like fucking, like what Yeah, just a dumb thing to chant. Just a dumb way to behave.
Sounds like they shut the thing down early.
Yeah. What the fuck you gonna do? Like,
Yeah.
hey,
Yeah, what a mess.
Next year,
no
we'll see
winners
if they,
there. It's hard to fucking.
What was the
blame
plan?
people for-
like what were the events surrounding
Yeah, but also,
it?
like,
what,
yeah,
what
what
are
do
you
you
supposed to
fucking
do?
do?
Like they just throw a
Trade.
bunch of Pokemon in this.
Or gonna walk
Trade.
around and be
Oh,
like,
you can't trade.
Yeah.
Battle?
not so much.
At least you could like hang
Maybe
out
they
with your
put-
own Pokemon.
No, not really. Did they put like 2 gyms within the radius
It
of
was-
that so people could
Yeah,
fucking?
it's probably a gym.
God, dude, remember this time last year? Like, I feel like there was at least every other day a Pokemon Go story on the local news around this time last
People
year.
finding dead bodies and
like,
shit.
yeah, dude, it was fucking everywhere.
I feel like
a year ago.
about this time a year ago, the really hot takes were starting to percolate about like, oh, people are gonna die playing
Yeah,
this
yeah.
game, and
Sure enough.
Well, whatever. I mean, obviously, like even if it doesn't make news on the daily, and like I don't know that I know anyone who played it longer than a month or so. Like, obviously, it's still fucking huge.
Yeah, it's still big, but not like it was when it broke.
Yeah,
you know.
like they're shedding player numbers that are other games' entire player bases and still fucking raking it in, I'm sure. So,
Sure.
Which all the more reason why maybe, it should have worked.
Yeah.
They made some mistakes.
Yes.
Probably.
Yes.
Probably hard to plan for a thing you've never done before.
yes.
Also.
That revolves around an alternate reality game that requires cell phone connectivity.
Yeah, tech that you don't necessarily own or control.
Yeah. And that's like slightly fragile at the best of times.
Yeah.
It wasn't Lugia. Lugia's the bird. I remembered, but I can't remember the dog's name. It was the dog.
Is it Articuno?
Nope.
No?
Articuno is also a bird.
Oh, you're right. That is a bird.
I thought I read that it was Lugia.
I see Lugia and
Was
Articuno.
it
here.
Lugia?
I'm
I
trying
thought
to
it was
find.
the dog. I don't know.
I thought it was some water thing. I don't know.
Oh, Squirtle.
Yeah,
that's the
yeah,
one.
it was
Got
Squirtle.
it. Okay, cool.
It's actually War Turtle.
Ooh. No, thank you.
Squirtle Squad.
Canceling
It's
that
not the War Turtle
evolution.
Squad.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, you guys want to read some emails?
Fucking A.
Yeah,
Okay,
here.
let's
me
do
see.
it.
I'll read them. Wait, you asked if we wanted to.
Do you want to hear some emails? Would you like?
I was
Fucking
excited. I was
A!
excited to read them.
you like
but-
Way more than I want to read them.
Would you like to hear, ponder, and respond?
Reading
to
is
some
for
emails?
losers.
Yes, I will do each of
Okay.
them in that order.
Okay. All right. Here we go. Bombcast@giantbomb.com. Scott from Scotland.
It's old Scotland
Nice.
Scott.
Yep. He wants to know, is Mario lore total bullshit?
Fuck no.
Hello, Giant Bomb, featuring Ben from the Doshin the Giant series. So, in Donkey Kong Country, 1994.
Oh, he's tall.
Yeah.
The guy who's
Uh-huh.
in the
Yeah,
to me
he's a
like
giant.
me.
Yeah, no, Dosh. Yeah.
Mhm. I thought about leaving that out for his sake, but I decided to just read the whole email. So, in Donkey Kong Country, 1994, it
Ben is tall. If you're
established-
listening at home, I don't know
Yes.
if that's been
Yeah,
established.
Yeah.
we're both tall is kind of the thing that links those two jokes. Well, it's one joke, but it's two parts of it.
Uh-huh.
So, okay.
All right,
I'll
let's
back
back
up.
this. Okay, let's really lay this out. Can you draw? Can we get a whiteboard in here? Audio whiteboard because this is a
You gotta-
podcast.
you
Okay,
gotta-
speak this whiteboard at me.
Listeners at home, I'm kind of doing various hand signs that signal two tall things. And just picture that.
Okay, all right.
And that's
Which
us.
one are you?
I'm this one.
Okay.
And he's a little tall.
And he is Doshin.
He's
the
a giant.
Yeah.
Of-
I'm a
just a
normal
tall guy.
human that's also very tall.
Okay. But not actually technically a giant.
Technically, no.
Did someone
not by
te-
law.
Did someone teach you to be that tall?
I learned it from the streets. Like,
Okay.
no one person.
Okay.
He just grew up in it.
So you can't teach. Okay, all right.
Yeah.
You can't teach it.
No.
I feel bad for Scott.
Oh,
I
no.
don't know if I should read this email now.
Please. I want to hear about Mario lore, actually.
Okay, here's what Scott from Scotland says. So in Donkey Kong Country, 1994, it is established that Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong, 1981, is who we know now as Cranky Kong,
Yes.
and that he had a son, Donkey Kong Jr., who then went and had his own son, who we know as the current Donkey Kong, which is Cranky Kong's grandson.
Really?
I thought it was his
Yes.
son.
I thought that Donkey Kong in Donkey Kong Country was Donkey Kong Jr.
No, he's
not
so he
the
Yeah,
son
that's
of
what
Donkey Kong
that's what I've
Jr.
heard.
he disagrees. In fact, he has supporting evidence.
Okay.
Now, Donkey Kong Jr.
I'll allow it.
I'll sit
Yeah,
down.
okay, this might be why you're confused. This is
That might be.
the contention he's making here might be the okay.
I mean, okay, if you here's I'm gonna amend my original answer before we go on. If he's gonna say that Donkey Kong Country lore is part of Mario lore, then yes, it is bullshit.
Okay.
Yes. I'm
Okay.
talking about Mario.
So again, to be clear,
And
the,
Luigi Mario,
the original.
Marios.
So what he's saying is the original Donkey Kong is now Cranky Kong. Donkey
Yes.
Kong Jr. is his son, and the son of Donkey Kong Jr. is the current Donkey
Well,
Kong.
then where the fuck is Donkey Kong?
That's what I'm getting to.
All right.
Now, Donkey Kong Jr. never really shows up again, a whole other can of worms. But in Mario Tennis 2000, Donkey Kong Jr. does show up. This is post Donkey Kong Country, where Donkey Kong is the grandson in canon. But in Mario Tennis, Donkey Kong Jr. is still a dumb baby-looking Donkey Kong like he was in Donkey Kong Jr. and Super Mario Kart, making Donkey Kong older than his own dad.
Sports games aren't
What
canon.
the fuck?
Yeah,
Sports games aren't canon. Mario Party's not canon. Sports games aren't canon.
Yeah, there's
Mario
no-
Kart is canon.
Wait, who's
This
because
is like
they
you know,
drive
like
into a canon.
the Tekken
Hang
tag
on.
games are also not canon the
Right.
same way. It's like it's a dream match situation. They're bringing together characters from different timelines.
Okay, so you're saying that Mario Kart is D canon, but the sports games are like S canon? Is that what you're saying?
Those are
Okay.
just like, you know,
okay,
they're
that's like fifth order canon.
Yes.
Is what you're saying. Okay, now it makes more sense.
Mushroom Kingdom 5457 is the one where Mario didn't grow the mustache.
Okay.
And as a result, Bowser has two mustaches.
Okay,
Because he has two mouths.
I see. Those mustaches make him look sleazy. I think he should.
You should probably shave it.
Bowser needs to
But
look
only the
sleazy.
bottom one.
Yeah.
Top mustache.
It's power mustache.
Yeah.
Also named my new reality series.
I guess that's the best answer we got for you. Disregard all
Is it
sports
the
games.
premise doesn't work?
Yes. Mario Tennis doesn't
We're
count.
shutting down your entire.
Let's see.
But wait, no, what is the supporting evidence about the whole fucking Donkey Kong Jr. like Cranky Kong? Not
I don't know. You'd have to go back and play Donkey Kong Country.
So he didn't even include the supporting evidence, is what you're saying.
Well, he says all three of those Donkey Kongs are in Donkey Kong Country.
All right.
Wait, then who's where's the middle one? in
That's the
Donkey
whole
Kong?
premise of the email is the Donkey Kong
where is
Jr.
Middle Kong? Where is grown-up Donkey Kong Jr. and all this? Because
What are
I
you
think
guys
the
saying?
are you
I
saying
that Donkey Kong Jr. is now Donkey Kong?
Yes.
I'm saying the
Okay.
player character in Donkey Kong Country is a
Is Donkey Kong
grown-up
Jr.
Donkey Kong Jr.
Okay, that he is disputing that.
Because
But
Cranky Kong is his father, the original Donkey Kong.
Okay.
Yes.
That was always my understanding of this.
Yeah, he claims there is a third generation there.
There's a third Kong.
Yes. I don't know.
Kong Island.
Like a 1,000 Nintendo obsessives are screaming at their podcast right now.
And then Diddy Kong and
screaming,
Dixie
"Wah!"
Kong are like fucking whatever.
we will hear next week for sure what the definitive answer is.
The definitive answer
Mario
is
Golf
that
is
Donkey
canon.
Kong Country fucking sucks.
Miyamoto agrees, I think. I hear. Wait, do you have a counter argument?
No,
No, what do you?
I'm just gonna sit on that. I know what the first game I'm playing
You're gonna hold that.
when I get that Super NES Classic
Yeah, what is it?
Super Mario World. But
Yeah, it's a good
fourth, but like the fourth game I'm gonna play is Donkey Kong Country.
What are 2 and 3?
Star Fox 1, so I can unlock Star Fox 2, then
right,
Star
yeah.
Fox 2.
Okay.
They perverted Donkey Kong. They ruined it.
They made it good.
I'm ambivalent.
They unruined it.
Wait, when was it bad?
When you had to jump over stupid barrels.
All right, let's.
Actually, the barrel level's good.
I don't care
All
about
the-
Donkey Kong
All
as
the
much.
spring
Let's move
levels are
on.
bullshit.
The elevators, that's good. You want to tell me the Pie Factory's weird? I'll agree with you. You want to tell me that Donkey Kong Jr. is a weird fucking game?
Yeah.
then yeah, of course.
Isn't there like weird math?
That's Donkey Kong Junior Math. That's a separate game.
Yeah. Is that one canon?
Oh yeah.
Okay.
All right.
That's how we learned to count those bananas.
Yeah.
You had to count to
They
zero
were all
at the start
stolen,
of Donkey
yeah.
Kong Country. Stonky Kong.
Stonky Kong. From the makers of Stonkers.
Mike in
Stinky
St.
Kong.
Louis writes in. San Diego Comic-Con 2017 happened over the weekend, and one of the many trailers released was a teaser for the film adaptation of Ready Player One.
Oh, yeah. Here we go.
The movie is being directed by legendary filmmaker Steven Spielberg.
Legendary!
And the trailer is a shot featuring Duke Nukem firing a rocket launcher.
Yep.
To recap, Steven Spielberg is making a movie in 2017 featuring Duke Nukem. Please discuss.
I mean, bringing all this stuff together for Pixels worked out really well.
Sure.
So I'm really looking forward to seeing like more money thrown at that concept.
Yes, but now they have a master of the craft at the helm. I'm sure it will make all the difference.
Legendary.
I never read Ready Player One.
I have not either.
My mom got it for me at Christmas. Sorry, Mom, if you're listening. I haven't read it. But I've seen screenshots that people have been circulating recently, and it seems like it's a smarter Big Bang Theory.
Oh boy,
That's the vibe I get. It's just,
Smarter might not be the word. Yeah.
but like maybe a little more honest, like
Yeah.
like a little less. Like I mean, not.
It knows what it's
It's
doing.
not playing it for laughs.
it feels like it's coming, like that book feels like it's coming from an honest place, at
Yes.
least. And I think when you take those screenshots of the passages out of context, like, of course they're going to look fucking insane.
Totally.
Because that book is fucking insane.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as it makes it out to be.
I've heard a lot
but
of
also like
people
looking at the
defend it.
movie and looking at this stuff and realizing kind of and when the second book came out, it was basically like a fucking like, hey, what if we made The Last Starfighter again?
Yeah.
But also with some of the same stuff.
Right.
Like once you see it happen again from the same author, like it makes the first book worse in retrospect.
That is exactly. I haven't read any of them, but yeah, everybody came out of that first one going like, this is a fun, self-indulgent nostalgia fest.
Yeah, and it like,
but then he did the same
it has
thing again.
nothing to say about any of that nostalgia.
Yeah.
It's just like this weird, like it's audacious in a way where you're like, man, wow, you
like,
really fucking went for it.
The one line I remember seeing in the thing is he's talking about studying like the sacred texts of nerddom, and there's a line where he talks about the directors, and he's like the famous directors that we all know and love: Spielberg, Coppola, blah blah blah, and of course Kevin Smith.
oh boy.
Yeah, that's that book.
Is that played straight?
Oh
Yeah.
yeah.
It's
Well,
a
you know
fucking
And that movie is going to be incredibly well made.
It'll be interesting to see all these properties fucking thrown together because that's what that book is fucking, we're going to reference every single possible thing we can come up with from a specific time period from clearly the author's childhood.
I think it kind of worked for Wreck-It Ralph.
What cultural affinity
Yeah,
does
like
Steven
the-
Spielberg have
But it didn't.
for any
Wreck-It
of that
Ralph
stuff?
didn't rely on that stuff.
Nothing
as hard.
he's just directing the movie, man.
Like
he
he was
didn't write
busy,
the fucking story.
like he was busy making like some of the most important movies of the 80s
Project
at the time.
Elemento.
All this shit was happening.
No,
Never.
well, whatever.
Like, what does he know
didn't
or care
Spielberg
about
have
all
a
this
fucking
stuff?
Donkey Kong machine in his office or whatever?
yeah.
Like,
You're right. He is into that stuff.
Boombox.
I was going to say,
Yeah.
are Boomblocks going to be in it?
Boomblocks really, there should be the stacks fall over and it's just like Boomblocks.
Sure.
I am.
I'll probably see that movie.
That is the extent of my defense of Ready Player One.
Yeah.
Is that I don't think it's as bad as the out of context screenshots of those pages make it look, but also those are literally pages from that book. And I think like our relationship with nostalgia and all that other stuff, I think has changed since the release of that book
Yeah.
to where that stuff plays way worse now than it did.
Yes.
Like it's on the same level as an Arby's Twitter account.
Yeah, God, that thing is way worse than Ready Player One.
It is a really disorienting experience to become the generation that marketers are
Right.
trying to repackage your childhood and sell to you.
That's been happening for years, though.
Well, I know, but I mean, like you age into that as well.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I've started to
Like you're probably
that
on the
point.
cusp of it.
Yeah.
For me, I think it was like 3 to 5 years ago. There was like a run of Target commercials that had these like twee pop covers of like fucking Pixie songs and stuff like that.
Yeah,
You know, it's
yeah.
just like or Talking Heads or whatever. It was
When
just
you
like,
start
oh wow, yeah,
recognizing
you're really
all
going
the elevator music.
like,
and
oh, I
you
am
go like, oh,
right. Right. I think it's basically when you get out of 18 to 34, which is the really desirable
Sure.
demographic for marketers, and then you get into the past that.
But also, if you think
and they
about
just
it,
like, hey, remember this? Like
the marketing and nostalgia is never going to stop. Like the 80s are going to be the 80s forever because they can keep marketing them that way. And people will lose their connection to it. And maybe it's like this for generations older than us. I don't know. But like, if you think about it, in some ways, you and I are, and Jason are kind of the age where we are going to be some of the last people that remember shit before the internet. And I remember shit before cable TV.
Yeah.
Oh, sure.
And rotary phones and some of that stuff where like, and I feel like the mere presence of the internet, the ability to have it all with you always, means that nothing's ever going to cycle out because it's always all going to be right there. The idea, like, you know, like musicians coming of age now and starting to write songs have the entirety of music to pull from.
Yeah.
It's not a matter of like what's on the radio. Like that matters up to a point, but like Spotify, all this other stuff gives it all to you at your fingertips. So what are they going to write when they can listen to fucking Bob Dylan as easily as they can listen to Wale?
Right.
That mashup is what I'm looking for.
Yeah,
you know,
that stuff happens here and there.
And you know, like the VH1 stuff, I love the 80s, I love the 90s stuff. Like the petering out of that to me was the realization of just like, they can't do it anymore because now it's going to happen forever.
Yeah.
Like 70s nostalgia is just going to kind of exist forever.
Sure.
And 60s nostalgia is just kind of exist
I
forever.
mean, like generational
90s,
demand.
I feel like
and
90s
is definitely
last,
big. Yeah, 90s is kind of the last
real.
bit. Yeah.
90s to me, I mean, like this probably just makes me sound old, but the 90s is the last decade I can think of that has like what I consider like a unique cultural identity.
Yeah, like a definitive, like if you think of 90s fashion, you can pull out some distinct stuff.
Like jams and flannel shirts.
And like there's some of that in the early 2000s, but like...
But also stuff like cycles a lot faster, too. Because everyone has constant access to everything else in the world.
Like
nothing has to travel to your town.
Yeah, totally. Like all culture is just a pastiche of everything all the time, right? Yeah.
And like I think that's like probably like a net positive. I think it's like a really rad thing in a lot of ways.
It just decentralizes everything.
Yeah.
You know.
Like, you know, slang is such a different thing now.
Yeah.
And, well, whatever.
I watched the teaser for the Rocco's Modern Life modern adaptation that they're doing, and it's
Is it
really
live
liked
action?
it. Oh no, it's
Like
the
what?
same. It's
Is it
the
just
same
another animated series?
But the show starts, or the trailer starts, and he goes, I don't think we're in the 90s anymore. And they're like in modern times, and there's, you know, some iPhone jokes, some Starbucks jokes, and I think it totally worked. I think I really enjoyed it, and I'm looking forward to that. But it was that kind of thing of me I'm enough shows from my childhood are being rebooted now that it's like everything's the same. It's all just media.
Like seeing that Power Rangers movie coming out was like that's what drove home for me. Like, oh, I'm actually now older than the people who are being pandered to. Like, I'm not even in that group anymore because I was.
Yeah, and maybe it's a perspective thing, and I'm off, but it definitely seems like that. It always felt like, you know, the trends would cycle in a way where, like, you know, suddenly I was going to a lot of 70s parties in like my 20s.
Yeah.
And then at some point people started going like, let's have 80s parties. And I feel like that happened, and then suddenly there were like people having 70s parties and they were still having 80s parties, and like it never stopped.
Yeah, it's kind of, you're right.
And then now Guardians of the Galaxy is just like, fuck it, here's like, there are plot points that revolve around fucking Brandy.
Yeah,
which is a fantastic fucking song, but ridiculous.
Yeah.
That's like something they can pull from. That's like a thing that is like widely, they can pull from it and make it work and all this other stuff.
It's all over the place.
In this mainstream thing. It's
like a lot of Bruno Mars stuff is like very funk influenced, but then like what's Meghan Trainor's doing like doo-woppy, more 50s, 60s kind of stuff. Like it's all over the place. Yeah.
Like stuff's like blasting out in a lot of different directions, and I think it's like generally pretty exciting. Even if like a lot of it, it's very easy to be cynical about a lot of it and just go like, oh, you're doing this.
Yeah.
Oh, you're just doing this. And
to me, especially with a lot of the music stuff, it's just a good reminder that like, hey, this stuff had value. Like this was popular 50 years ago for a reason. And it's cool to see somebody doing something with it again.
My wife is way into the Beatles, and I never really was. So I'm the Beatles. They're a band from the 50s, 60s, somewhere around there.
Before my time.
Yeah, you wouldn't remember.
Don't.
They're like.
Do they have any songs in Rock Band?
They have no.
Okay.
There are no songs in Rock Band 1, 2, or 3. You know, none of that stuff's in there.
Never heard of them.
Yeah. And it's so it's weird, like not really having any. And the release of the Beatles Rock Band actually did this in a way too, where it was this realization of just like, oh, a lot of the music I've been listening to is totally fucking pulling directly in very obvious ways from this stuff. Like that was a weird roundabout revelation for me that I thought was kind of fun. But I don't know. Now you got dudes on newscasts shouting, "What are those?" like 6 months too late, and you're like, "Man, what the fuck?" And it's like the saddest shit in the world.
Damn.
Like fucking why would you even say that?
Hammer pants.
Now you're talking.
Fucking big ass baggy.
This is my favorite. Yeah, just nostalgia.
Let's do
Let's
that
just
dance.
shout out old things.
Jinkos.
Yo, it's Mask and G.I. Joe and Transformers.
It's like opposite ends of the decade, though.
Yeah.
Jinko's is like practically turn of the
But
century.
they both celebrate in
Smash Mouth.
dogginess. Now you're talking.
Yeah.
That CNN's been doing like a decade by decade like cultural retrospective thing for a
Is
while.
Michael Ian Black involved?
No.
How about Mo Rocca?
Not
Doubt
yet.
it. I doubt it.
If Media
might have an
Gadfly Mo
episode.
Rocca's not there, then I'm not gonna fucking watch it.
They're on Netflix. They're really good.
Yeah,
they just
I like
started.
them.
They just started the '90s like live broadcast. I haven't seen any of that yet, but
One of these days, they're going to be able to like pull Mo Rocca back out of the closet, and like out of the mothballs, and then do nostalgia things about how much we liked Mo Rocca
Yes.
talking about old things.
Yes. What's Frangela up to?
all right. Another email, I guess. This is signed. It's been a while, but probably should be anonymous in Mountain View.
I like this already.
Yeah. After the recent announcement of the Atari box, I'm reminded of an experience from my days working at
Yeah, I was
Atari.
gonna say
that
Mountain View. I was like, okay, I know.
Yeah.
All right, let's hear it.
that probably won't surprise any of you. Jeff is right in saying that Atari is a brand management organization rather than a software publisher in the commonly understood sense, and this was true even when they were aspiring to publish a AAA title every year. About a decade ago, I don't know if I'm pronouncing this right, Frederick Chesney, CEO of Atari Interactive, visited our Atari satellite office. This would have been after the after the
this
Infogrames
would have
stuff,
been,
right?
yeah.
In the middle of our workday, he stuffed everyone into a conference room, grinning like a Cheshire cat. In a thick accent, he said, "We have an idea that will transform the future of Atari."
Holy shit.
This idea turned out to be the
Laying everyone. No.
This idea turned out to be the creation of a series of games based on public domain fairy tales. He explained patiently that these stories were already known to the public and would not require intellectual property overhead.
Hell yeah.
His monologue did not extend to the actual development of the games or their design or their promotion, just the cost-cutting involved with making games about characters like Little Red Riding Hood and Rapunzel. As far as I know, this project never resulted in any games, but I can't hear about the Atari box without thinking about him smiling in front of a PowerPoint presentation, smiling desperately at his bright idea.
Wow.
Fucking wow.
Yeah.
That's a business guy right there.
Yeah.
Yeah. You don't got to pay any licensing. It's
I mean, you
It's
think
like
about
business
Disney
plan writes
did it,
itself.
right?
like recent history Atari is really fucking shaky. You know, like they put out that Asteroids kind of Minecrafty thing and abandoned it.
Right.
Like the
Oh, that
studio
third person
Yeah.
vanished or
yeah,
whatever.
right.
Like Asteroids Outpost. It was
That
called.
Asteroids
Like,
movie's still coming.
that's right. That's definitely still going to happen.
Yeah.
Because why wouldn't it? I mean, you know, we'll see how Ready Player One does,
Yeah.
and then that could. I mean, honestly, that probably. They're doing a fucking. Didn't they just say Wreck-It Ralph 2 is going to happen?
I
Yep.
think that's happening, yeah.
But then it's like Wreck-It
Now
Ralph
is
on
the
the internet or
time.
whatever.
I saw that fun little anecdote. The Castlevania series on Netflix is the only fresh video game thing on Rotten Tomatoes.
Oh wow.
Yeah.
Wow.
It's the first fresh, certified fresh thing on Rotten Tomatoes.
All right.
Well, they should watch Mortal Kombat
Yep.
the movie.
Yes. Also, Street Fighter, the movie.
Also, Street Fighter the
DOA,
movie.
the movie.
Every episode of Street Fighter 2V.
Yeah.
Are those the, like,
It's like the 30
Anime.
episode anime thing.
OVAs? Yeah.
That's not
What about the US
Not the
cartoon?
movie.
Well, yeah. What about the U.S. cartoon?
Pretty good.
Yes.
Are those
Yes!
episodes available somewhere? I want to see that shit.
Probably on
I want to
YouTube.
say
Yeah.
yeah.
Well,
I,
yeah, yeah.
I think Capcom released some kind of collection. I don't know, 2-3 years ago. where
Capcom's
they
good
had
at
a
releasing
bunch of
collections.
shit on it. just those episodes.
What is the? Is it just called Street Fighter or Street Fighter 2? The movie where the one where Vega breaks in and tries to fight Chun-Li while that
That's Street
KMFDM
Fighter,
song is playing.
That is
the animated movie.
That is just Street Fighter, the animated movie.
Okay,
I think is
that's the only one I've ever seen.
That's the one where there's like multiple cuts of it because the Chun-Li
Yes.
shower scene.
Yes.
Yeah.
Steamy.
Scandalous.
Steamy. Saloon doors.
Yes. Sam from Louisville, I'm sorry.
Louisville,
Kentucky.
You gotta say it with moving your tongue as little as possible. Louisville.
Wolf.
Anyway. You've mentioned Wing Commander a couple of times in the past weeks, and every time my heart breaks a little because I loved the series so much.
Oh.
Will we ever see another real Wing Commander game? Also, do you remember the awesome fighter blueprints that came in the original Wing Commander box? And the Tiger's Claw magazine?
Yeah.
What is the Tiger's Claw? What is Tiger's Claw?
Tiger's Claw was the name of the ship you were on.
No, I know, but what is the magazine that he's talking about?
Was it like a fan run? I
I don't know. Was that somebody's Wing Commander zine?
Maybe
Or
they sold a magazine. I don't know.
Maybe,
actually.
yeah, it was.
Or maybe that was just packed in with one of the games.
Yeah,
the
maybe.
blueprints I remember.
Yeah.
Tiger's Claw magazine.
I had never owned the first two Wing Commanders, so I don't know those blueprints. I started with the Mark Hamill one.
They're still good games.
Yeah. I have to imagine Wing Commander is about as dead as it could be at the moment.
Yeah,
there's
there's
always
not a lot of people checking for it.
There's always a chance, but
yeah,
that
'cause
that fucking movie probably like
oh right, that thing. Fuck, man.
buried Wing Commander for like 20 years.
Ask you, Lillard.
God, I went to see that in the theater.
Why?
The fuck?
I remember that being okay.
I mean,
kind
well,
of
I don't
like in
think
a
it was
really
terrible.
corny way.
I don't think it
like-
was terrible.
I
Like,
don't
did
think
they maybe run a Phantom Menace trailer on that thing? That might be why I went to go see it.
Man, was Tom F. Wilson in it?
I don't believe so.
See, that's where they fucked
yeah,
up.
Yeah. What is it? It's Freddie Prinze Jr., Matthew Lillard.
Oh yeah, that.
Yeah, those two guys.
I'll say Saffron Burrows might be in it.
Hmm.
I don't know. Whatever. No, there's not a new Wing Commander coming out.
Yeah, there's gonna have to be some sea change in video games. I think for EA to have a desire to dust off all that old shit.
Which is a shame because they've got so much stuff.
Because right now, like I just like that style of space sim is not in vogue in a way that an EA would think to do it.
Yeah.
Obviously, stuff like Elite comes back, and like it speaks to a particular subset of an audience and stuff. But like EA is a big public company, they need to take bigger swings than that. I think in a lot of ways, and it's just not where they're looking.
Hey, what's Wing Commander?
It's a space sim.
Okay.
Like
You ever heard of X-Wing or TIE Fighter?
the games.
No, I've heard of them.
They're
It's
PC
like
games. They came to SNES and stuff too.
It's
but
like that without Star Wars.
it's a cockpit view.
Yeah, it is.
Cool.
It's a
Got it.
space
Mission
combat
based
simulator
space combat thing.
with some.
It's why people hate escort missions.
Yeah, that's part of it for sure.
That style of game is where people first learned to really hate escort missions.
But yeah, it was like a good, relatively deep, I guess I would say, like space combat sim, but still arcadey enough you could just kind of pick up and play it, and it had some pretty good storytelling.
I don't know that I really liked Wing Commander.
I didn't
until Mark
love
Hamill
it.
was in it.
Yeah,
Honestly, because
yeah.
like X-Wing and TIE Fighter were definitely Wing Commander games in a lot of ways, but better. Yeah.
Fucking way better games.
And I don't have an attachment to the Star Wars IP, but
Yeah.
those were just better fucking
Yes,
games.
absolutely.
But Tom F.
How do you-
Wilson
how do you
as
not have
Maniac.
How do you not like Star Wars?
We should just
Man.
You really getting into it?
no.
Nope.
We should-
it's a
want to hear
simple-
this.
No,
It's
fuck
a
this.
simple-
I'm heading this off at the
No,
pass.
It's
We should-
simple. The action figures are bad.
Yeah,
The arms
yeah,
didn't bend.
You're right. They were terrible.
But
G.I.
you
Joe.
you could slide a lightsaber into Luke's arm, and it kind of popped out. of the
G.I.
palm of his
Joe's
hand.
moved all kinds of cool ways.
Yep.
Star Wars figures were dog shit.
Yeah.
Have you ever
So-
heard anything about G.I. Joe figures like deteriorating over time?
They have rubber bands inside of them to hold them
that's
together.
exactly
that-
what I was
They'll
wondering.
dry out.
Those
I found
those could dry.
I found
out.
my little popcorn tin of G.I. Joe guys at my parents' house a few weeks ago. And
Don't move their arms.
I opened it and like a good third of the figures like were detached
Snapped
at the
in half.
waist.
Yeah,
And I just wondered, if the rubber bands like
that's
dried
the
out.
rubber
and-
band that attaches
Fuck.
the. That's definitely what
Oh,
that
that
is.
sucks.
Yeah.
How do you
I wonder-
get those replaced?
I was gonna say, I wonder if there's like an aftermarket like rubber band cottage industry for
I've,
fixing G.I.
no,
Joe
yeah,
figures.
I've replaced like bunched up like a real rubber band.
Really?
Like,
And it works?
There's little hooks on the inside.
yeah, I
that
know.
you-
I've
Yeah.
seen the little
It's
metal
just
hooks.
hard to get the upper
totally,
hook in
yeah.
there.
Yeah.
The lower one is exposed.
Just gotta get
so
some
that's-
like Operation Tweezers.
Yeah.
or
Yeah.
something.
Okay. Just
We should film this.
Maybe
You
you
got to
should
put
make
dial
Ready Player
tone
One.
back together. Wakanda.
yeah.
I want to see. I
My
want to
f-
watch you try and salvage your old GI Joes.
my fucking second gen Crimson Guard was in pieces. I was so sad. Tim from Massachusetts. Super hot. This was written
Super
It's a fucking
Like a week
it's
ago.
this DeLorean with the fucking Ghostbusters symbol on it
hot.
What?
in that fucking thing
What?
in Ready Player One. Like
Why?
it's because that's how haphazardly it throws these things together. Because by the year that thing's taking place, of course those people wouldn't have the context to know
Wait,
that you
the
would never
DeLorean-
do that.
The DeLorean from Radicati is in this?
Yeah, the DeLorean from Radicati's in it. It's
Yep.
pretty exciting.
Sweet.
Yep.
Does he do the Gangnam Style dance too?
The best of 80s nostalgia.
Yes.
Tim from Massachusetts. This email is phrased because the way it is.
The
because
author
it
was making appearances
couple
with
weeks
the
ago.
DeLorean, like as part of like the book tour. and
That's
stuff.
really
Like, he was
weird.
going around
I think
with
I think it was on UPF that I mentioned it. I forget the name of it, but there's like a pretty good documentary on Netflix
Back
about
in
the
time, yeah.
Yeah, I think it's called Back in Time, about like the Back to the Future fandom
right,
and like
yeah.
a bunch of people that have built their own DeLoreans and
Yeah.
how much ridiculous money they spend on them.
Like think about the Air Mags, like the shoes that Nike tried to sell.
Yeah.
And like how expensive those. And granted, they did a lot of them for charity, so
Yeah.
cool. But yeah, anyway, fuck.
Yeah. All right, Tim from Massachusetts.
Old shit's weird. Our relationship to old shit is
Yep.
weird.
Yeah. I like to keep it compartmentalized. I feel like that's a healthy way.
Gotta try.
Healthy way to approach it is sort of remember that it's of the past.
And remember that new shit
super.
is still good too.
Yeah. Yes. And enjoy it as kind of a relic. Not let it control you too much. Super Hot comes out on PS4 this Friday. This is an old email. And I'm excited to finally get a chance to play the game so many people rave about. Yes, that one. My question is, am I doing myself a disservice by just getting Super Hot and not also getting Super Hot VR? I already have a PSVR, but I'm pretty sure I'll be selling it come this fall if they don't show some cool stuff at PSX. Or they're definitely different.
Different experiences.
Yeah, they're different. They're both really good.
Yeah.
You should play Super Hot VR too.
I think
I would play Super Hot, and they're
definitely
selling
play
them in a
Super Hot.
bundle. So there's
well, that's maybe a no-brainer. I mean, definitely
get
play
that.
Super Hot.
Yeah.
That game's cool, but I guess my big question is if Super Hot VR has like the storytelling aspect.
It doesn't.
Not at all?
No.
Okay.
It's not the same game. It's not the same story.
Oh, I know that, but it doesn't
It's
have
like-
any story at all. Is
No.
it just this action
Yeah.
VR gimmick?
Yeah.
Okay.
Like you kind of come out of VR a couple of times and have
Okay.
to put a VR
Yeah,
helmet
yeah,
on
yeah,
in
yeah.
VR and do some stuff. And it has some of the beats
Yeah.
from original Super Hot
Okay.
without the anything around it. And the story in Super Hot is really slight. You kind
It
of have
is,
to look
but
for it. But it
I
brings
think
a lot
I think
to
it's
it.
I think it's essential because like the gimmick alone would not support that whole game. I don't think.
I don't know.
I would not. I put it this way. I would
it
not.
is better for having.
I would not have finished Super Hot if it didn't have this like the story around the edges, kind of
Yeah.
leading you along.
Yeah. I agree. That it is
So,
better for having that stuff.
yeah.
Play Super Hot.
And then if you really like it, play Super Hot VR.
Yeah, if you want more of it.
Super Hot VR is really fucking good.
Yeah.
I can't speak to the quality of it on PSVR though. That's like, the tracking issues of the PSVR, the
Yes.
quality of the PSVR
Yes.
could get in the way of your enjoyment there. But
Yes.
I
Agreed.
bet it would be mostly okay.
Next.
Also, it's a really short game that like you're not necessarily going to want to replay a bunch. So I feel like even if you were going to only have a PlayStation VR until the fall, you would get everything you wanted to out of Super Hot VR by fall.
Alex from 20910
Okay.
writes in. Since Bacardi discontinued 151, which that's
What?
as far as I got in this email before I said exactly that.
Did they? I swear I've seen it at liquor stores. Or
It's
something.
because they're coming out with 152.
Oh, shit. Oh, dude,
I've had it.
I
Within
just
the past.
I just got to the Wikipedia page, and the first sentence is written in the past tense, which is how you always know.
Whoa.
Bacardi 151 was a brand of highly alcoholic rum made by Bacardi Limited.
Can you?
Yeah,
we have to
find the
why?
discontinuation.
Why?
Let's see.
Why?
I don't know if
Man,
this.
I
page-
remember my 22nd or 3rd birthday. Drank a lot of that, and then went bobbing for apples in a bathtub and almost died.
That sounds like a reason to discontinue Bacardi 151. Were too many people blowing fireballs with it?
Very possibly. Let's see.
No official
it
release
looks like
was
this happened
ever
like
given.
this year or
Yeah.
last year.
Man.
Lawsuits?
What? I just ended up on brutalhammer.com with the tagline, "We drink the world."
Okay, that's
Let's see.
exactly where I am.
151 seems like the sort of thing that that's. What are people going to mix with a ton of fruit juices and let sit overnight?
Yeah.
What are people going to fill a watermelon?
These guys contacted
in the trash.
These guys contacted Bacardi Corporate and confirmed it has been discontinued, but they wouldn't say why.
Okay, well,
The speculation is that too many lawsuits. Like they started including these bottle caps that would a flame arrestor cap. What the hell is this? Because I mean, you go to the bar, you get a shot of 151. They set it on fire. I think that's standard, right?
It's required by law, I think.
So I'm assuming people at home were doing the same, and
I mean, this article
ruckus.
This article straight up links to other brands of 151 proof rum.
same.
So there is still.
It's not a band. It's just Bacardi.
Yeah. There are other
Chickening out.
Yeah.
There are other companies identifying a need in the market and filling it. Anyway,
I'm going to boycott all Bacardi products now.
Good, do it.
What about Captain Morgan's Gold?
Never mind. I'm in.
All right, here's the email. Since Bacardi discontinued 151, I was at the beer store the other day and noticed that when I went to buy some 40s of Old English, that they were instead 42s.
Nice.
I can understand going from glass to plastic bottles for what I assume to be cost reasons, but going from 40 ounces to 42 is super weird to me. I don't think they cost more than the old 40s, and if it did increase, it was so minimal that I didn't notice.
It's a Ready Player One time. It's the whole Hitchhiker's Guide to the Galaxy thing.
Oh,
it's
nice.
It's just it's another nostalgia play.
Old English is the secret to life.
Mm-hmm.
That's
Soak your towel in Old English and fucking wrap it around your head.
And they're going to put 5 more ounces in it, and it'll be a Hitman tie-in.
Galactic gargle, but
Yep, that's right.
I don't know. I think that they are going back to glass. I definitely have seen billboards that say now available in glass, which is like a crazy thing to advertise.
Yeah.
Now ready for bar fighting.
Yeah. back to the fucking real shit.
Ready to glass somebody.
I still have those 3 bottles of Buckfast on my desk.
Did you see they launched the Find Me Bucky app, which is an app you can use to find the nearest supplier of Buckfast?
Really?
Does it work in this country?
I looked for it on the App Store but couldn't find it.
Yeah, it's probably not even available. Yeah.
It's called Find Me Bucky.
Find Me Bucky.
Jeff from Rochester, New York. Since a lot of you are writers by trade, I'm curious if you have a preference as to what keyboard you use. As a programmer and PC gamer, I have ventured into the world of mechanical keyboards, and now I can't turn back. I can't get enough of the clicky Cherry Blues, the tactile but quiet feedback of Cherry Browns, and the responsiveness of Romer Gs. Have any of you ventured into this clicky world as well? P.S. Swimming in this world of $100 plus keyboards makes me totally understand why the Xbox Elite controller is as successful as it is.
I recently learned that they're color coded, and that's like each color has a different resistance or something like that.
Wait, is that where the color comes from?
Yeah.
What?
Yeah,
God.
That's a meaningful.
That's ridiculous.
Cherry switches and all
I
that.
thought Cherry Brown was
well,
just
cherry,
like a porn
cherry
star
switches are
name,
different.
but
I mean,
I didn't know it was a keyboard.
Fahey over at Kotaku reviews keyboards. He has been for a while. I don't know if you keep up with that stuff.
Oh,
like,
he's
like
gotten
fucking
some
constantly.
Yep.
And like, I feel like it's like been like quietly watching one man's descent into madness, because like the keyboards have gotten weirder and weirder week over week. And then this week, like yesterday, I just saw an article that just said how to build your own keyboard.
Yeah.
And it's just like, fucking, what are you lunatics doing?
I needed a new keyboard because mine was all fucked up. And so I went and spent too much money on. At that point, I was like, well, fuck it. Let's see how the Elite live. And I bought a Razer Chroma fucking RGB light up weird keyboard and mouse to go with it.
Yeah.
And it's mechanical. But, it seems like it's only available in one type of switch. I don't know what type of switches are in it or whatever. It's just fucking loud.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's the number one reason I don't want to use mechanical.
And I hate it.
too
I
noisy.
hate the noise of it.
Yep.
And it was so expensive that now I'm like, well, I'm gonna keep using this keyboard, but I'm not happy with it.
Yeah.
It feels good. Like I was saying last week when we were playing those typing games, like I don't type as accurately on it because it is
on the mechanical.
Yeah.
Oh, I thought you were going to say the opposite.
I think it's just because I am not necessarily used to it. And so I make more mistakes on it. Something about I don't know what it is about it. But,
Interesting. If they found a way to like dampen the noise and keep the same action,
so some of those
I
other
would-
switches like
Okay.
are quieter,
Okay.
and so I'm looking at it going like, man, I could have had the accuracy, whatever the benefit of a mechanical keyboard is, the precision, I guess it would be, without all the fucking noise.
You get the throw of the blue with the noise of a brown.
Right. But I will say that when I launched Deus Ex, and that is one of maybe 2 games I've seen,
The support.
it will dim out all the keys except for WASD.
That's really dumb.
That is kind of cool.
Like I think
It's cool,
I think
but-
Quick Champions might do it too.
Yeah.
But it like sometimes seeing like the per key lighting come up and light up the relevant keys for a game and
Yeah.
stuff. It happens so infrequently because who the fuck supports that?
It's a super cool gimmick, but at the same time, like if you have to look at your keyboard, like what the fuck are
totally,
you doing?
yeah. Like it's you never.
Yeah.
All keyboards are the same. They're all the same. They're all just keyboards.
I wouldn't go that far.
You just
kind
hit them.
Dude,
hit the keys.
that piece of junk we have on the studio PC, I'm afraid
You
like,
bring in
it's
your
just
own
a-
keyboard.
I
for
do.
that, yeah.
It's just a keyboard.
That keyboard's
it's-
fine.
when it's a serious game, I bring a keyboard.
Your own mouse and shit. Yeah.
Oh, we got a good mouse in there.
Okay.
There are some shitty keyboards that don't like you to hold down some keys at the same time. That doesn't happen as much as it used to, though.
That was a-
Like most keyboards,
There's like
these days are
broken
fine.
keyboards.
There are
Those
broken
bad.
keyboards. Those are bad ones. Yeah.
I've been using the Apple aluminum keyboard for like close to 10 years, and I
I've been
can't
thinking
use
of
anything else at this
I've been
point.
thinking of changing off of QWERTY.
What?
Going-
You could go to Dvorak or something?
There's a new one, or
What?
maybe it's not new, but I've seen a lot of people talking about it recently. It starts with a Z.
Yeah.
I'm thinking like
Why?
maybe because it's probably better.
Mm,
Because I heard, so I heard this
Sure.
as an anecdote this weekend. It could be wrong, but I heard the way that keyboards are laid out now is because typewriters,
yeah, it's,
if
yeah,
you
that is
hit
true.
the same 2 things, it would
was,
break.
it was to slow people down
So it
to
was to
keep them
slow-
from jamming
yeah.
up the typewriters. Yeah.
So like, if I have to suffer for 6 months or whatever learning this new style, like
But what is the
For the
style?
better-
Alphabetical?
I don't know,
I
but it's
don't-
probably
No, that wouldn't be
better.
better.
It's like something about vowel reach, being able to like hit your vowels
Mm.
more conveniently or something.
Maybe.
It makes sense. Like, yeah, I don't. The problem you'll run into is that you will occasionally have to use someone else's computer.
Yeah, so that's the thing. Like,
Yeah.
I for work use like at least 3 different computers that I can think about.
Yeah.
4 that I use.
So you'll get used to this style and then never. I mean, it's like a larger version of like me not fully getting used to this mechanical keyboard
Yeah.
because I've got my laptop
Yep.
here and the shitty keyboard that I'm using here to replace the other one that broke.
Big part of the reason I use that Apple aluminum is because it feels exactly like the laptop. So there's zero like
That makes sense.
disorienting. Like I use a laptop, I use the thing at home or here. It's all the same keyboard. It's
Because keyboards are all the same.
Yeah. Nathan from Texas. Your differing opinions on what
It's my favorite TV
constitutes
show.
a hot dog. Yeah. What's it about?
Nathan for Texas.
Oh, okay. Right.
He's a big business owner.
Yeah,
Mhm.
huge business.
Oh, yeah. Your differing opinions on what constitutes a hot dog interest me greatly. Please tell me what each of you think is the perfect dog. I want to try each one. I will let you know what I think after I have done so. My preferred hot dog is a Seattle-style dog, which consists of the following. Smoked bratwurst. I don't even know if it's a hot dog at that point. Cream cheese, sliced fresh jalapenos, grilled onions, and sriracha.
Oh, minus the sriracha. That sounds perfect.
Sounds hot as shit, but the cream cheese evens the whole thing out and is
Sure.
absolutely delicious. Let me know if you try it and what you all think.
Man, that sounds good.
Send us
Uh,
some.
Do you say Seattle?
So
All right, PAX, baby.
I-
We're going to see.
I actually had
Dog City.
I had more or less exactly what he's talking about that night we went to Dog City. Like shortly after the Dog City experience.
How was it?
It's fucking awesome. It's
Yeah, it
really
sounds-
good.
it sounds good.
Without, I don't think it had the hot sauce on it. think
Yeah,
it
I
was-
don't like sriracha, but
I think it did have jalapenos and the other stuff. But the cream cheese, it was just like, it's legitimate.
I feel
Sure.
like literally every condiment listed there is something I try not to eat.
Oh, it's so good. I would. It's not my number one hot dog, but I would not turn it down in a pinch for sure. All right, what is it?
The last hot dog I ate, I got.
Was it your
From a-
ideal dog? He wants to know.
Oh, I don't know.
All right, there you go. Whatever.
I put ketchup on hot dogs and that's it.
Ugh, okay.
I used to be like that.
All right.
And then some.
I used
but,
to be a fool.
but most of the time when I get a hot dog, like I might be eating it in a car or something, so
Mm.
I don't even get ketchup. I just get it and eat it plain.
Yeah, I have a problem with messy food.
Do you like
Yeah.
like an all beef Frank? What do you like?
Yeah, sure. I'll eat a chicken, like you give me a fucking tofu dog, like I'll fuck it up,
Yeah,
I'll mess
sure,
around.
sure.
Like let's play. Like,
Yeah.
but condiments, like, I like ketchup. I like a chili dog.
Yeah.
You put chili and cheese on a thing.
Hell yeah.
I'm into it.
Yeah.
I just like chili. It's
do
a mess,
you put
though.
mustard on the
Yeah.
chili?
I don't put mustard on
Just
anything.
try it. It's pretty good.
No.
Chili.
no.
Okay. Yes. No. Yep. You know what you're talking about. I've said it many times. Yeah. Mustard, onions, chili, and slaw.
There you go.
That's it.
Slaw? Like coleslaw?
Yeah, coleslaw.
What?
On top of the chili. Oh yeah.
I've very recently developed a taste for mustard. And I used to be a ketchup only, and then it was like ketchup and relish because I realized I like pickles. I had my very first ever corn dog with mustard on it at the fair, and it was
I
phenomenal.
don't know how you eat a corn dog without mustard.
So I guess I'm just like I'm ketchup, mustard, pickle.
Okay.
Simple, but I like a kosher dog. I like an all beef.
Okay.
Steam bun is key. Yeah.
Okay.
And you know what? Actually, I take it back. My favorite is you take a French roll and you take your hot dog and you cut it in half and lay it out flat on the French roll and you eat it like kind of a sandwich.
I used to
Do you
have
grill
a
the hot
weird
dog then?
Yeah.
Okay.
Both sides.
I used to find something about the cutting a hot dog in half, like something about it was repulsive, and I couldn't ever figure out why. But
It's because it's easy to think that it'd be like a wiener getting cut in half, and that's a horrifying thing.
I was a child.
That's what my thing was as a child.
Yeah, I don't know.
Same for you, Jason.
Yeah.
Okay.
I love a good chili dog
Yeah.
for real.
Yep.
You
You know
and
what?
Sonic the Hedgehog.
Fucking like bacon dogs though.
Mm.
Like bacon
I don't
wrapped
think
hot dogs.
I mean, yeah. I don't think I need it.
They keep me
But yeah.
fed at E3. That's for sure.
Okay.
All those little hot dog vendors,
Dude,
they're
yeah.
all bacon wrapped
Yeah.
ones. And
Yes.
It's like, here's a few bucks. Give me a bacon wrapped dog.
Mhm.
I'm good to go.
Yep.
Oh, mustard as well.
I haven't had a bagel dog in a while, and it makes me kind of want a bagel dog.
Yeah,
How does that work?
B-dogs, man?
What?
It's just like
I'm trying to
bread.
envision that. Is it a bun made out of bagel?
Yeah.
It's
Okay.
not
Well,
really
it's like a
bagel-y,
corn dog,
it's-
except it's a bagel-y kind of
But it's a
covering.
big
not
ass
a pig in a
thicker.
Not
blanket.
just a straight bagel though, right?
No, it's
Okay.
a long.
Okay. Yeah.
It's a big ass pig in a blanket, right?
Yes.
Yeah.
That makes sense.
There
Yeah.
we go.
You get them from the Costco and you microwave them.
Yeah.
Mhm.
Or 7-Eleven.
All right. Like three more emails.
I'm
maybe.
hungry now.
Yeah. Yeah. This podcast.
Oh
goes
God, Quick Trip had these
way past
jalapeno
lunchtime.
like bagel wrap dogs. Oh, they were good.
Yep.
We need a Quick Trip here.
Ryan wrote in from Fremantle in Western Australia with an idea about game retailers putting patches on USB sticks, which I don't think would ever work, but I wanted to read the end of his email.
This sounds like something that someone in Australia would write.
Yes.
Home of
Yeah,
like
specifically-
slow, expensive
Yes.
internet.
He specifically
like,
mentions
definitely.
limited internet. Like,
There should be kiosks. You should be able to fucking take a thing
Yeah,
into walk into a store
that would maybe work.
and fucking
Yes.
say, I own these. You insert a thing and
Yes.
says you own these games. They put the patches on it. You go home. You fucking
His idea about giving you a USB stick with every game you buy might not work, but what you're
like
describing,
the
if you
Famicom
brought
disk
your-
writer for
yeah,
patch
yeah.
distribution.
If you brought your own USB stick, I
Yeah.
could see something like that actually being super useful for
allowing people to install patches from their own media
Yeah.
is a vector for some fucking wild shit
I see.
that would be probably frowned upon from a console security
Yes.
anti-piracy perspective.
The reason I mention all this, though, is that at the end of the email, he says, also, I saw Guns N' Roses in '93, and Axl on stage screamed for reggae.
Mm-hmm.
Saw them 2 months ago, no reggae requested. Axl had his fill.
No, Axel just sucks now. There's a
He
so
forgot the value of reggae.
yeah, he's really lost something.
It
it wasn't just Buckethead.
yeah.
So on satellite radio. There
Wait, does Axl have a show on satellite radio?
They're
'Cause it
bringing
seems
a
like
Guns
he
N'
sh-
Roses
it
channel.
so
seems like he should.
they just launched a Guns N' Roses channel
Okay.
on satellite radio.
I would-
It replaced.
I would maybe listen to that.
Depends on
Not
how
the
much
channel, but his show, if he had
no,
one.
but I did hear Duff McKagan going introducing punk songs in the fucking most and now here's this song by this band.
Okay.
Song starts, nothing.
Yeah.
It's not
Nice.
like here's what Duff has to say about fucking television. Whatever
he
old
may,
band.
he may not be much of a radio presence, but he's actually become like a very thoughtful dude.
Yeah.
in his middle age.
Is he the
Like, he's-
dude that
he's
has
written
all the
some-
economic
Yes,
stuff? Okay,
yes,
yeah.
he has written some pretty interesting stuff. Like he got his shit together.
But he's the only voice, original, specific for the radio station voice I've heard. The rest of it's just been excerpts from Slash interviews, and you're left with the impression that Duff was the guy who had time to fucking contribute to the radio station.
Sure.
But also it replaced Faction, which was the Tony Hawk station.
Oh wow.
I'm pissed. About
There was they would play punk and hip hop
Yeah.
and other shit. So
It was
it's
one of my
like,
favorite stations, actually.
it's replaced. Yeah, they replaced it with Guns N' Roses radio, which is like insane because I just don't feel like Guns N' Roses has the catalog to carry a full station.
Well, what's the format? Is it like a bunch of music that
so the form-
inspired them?
yes, so
and
the
stuff like
format
that?
ends up being a bunch of bumpers that say, before they did this, they listened to this.
Yeah.
And then it's a fucking Rolling Stones song, and you're like, fucking fuck this. Yeah. The Beatles station that launched is in many ways worse because it's a ton of covers.
Ooh.
And you're just like,
Ooh.
I don't want to hear the fucking some dude that was in Oasis fucking play this.
Like
Like,
which dude?
I don't know. Not
Depends on Noel or Liam.
neither.
Depends on.
Yeah.
Oh, neither one.
Yeah.
Nah, fuck that.
And then on like Pearl Jam radio, it's just like a bunch of
Live shows.
live shows and shit.
Yeah.
That seems like what the people who like Pearl
Yeah.
Jam would want
Yeah.
out of that.
I mean, there's also a Grateful Dead station that is very much that
Same.
template, of course.
Yes, same. Okay.
And that fucking Aussie station. Listen, man, I'm not a big Aussie fan, but I like my hair metal. And when they start playing Aussie on the hair metal station, I get pissed off because he's got his own fucking channel. Keep your shit over there.
you got against Ozzy?
Fucking bark at the moon somewhere else.
Oh man, that
Crazy
fucking fucking invite came in from PR.
Ozzy's Boneyard. Yeah, that's right.
While I was out of the office,
that
and an
Maiden game.
invite came in from PR to go hang out with Iron Maiden backstage.
God damn it.
To hear about their app.
It was not hang out with Iron Maiden.
Well, no, it was hang out with the developers.
hang
of
out with the developers
it
of
was-
an Iron Maiden game.
Yes, backstage at
Backstage
an
at an Iron
Maiden
Maiden show.
Yeah,
I would have gone to that.
yeah, totally. If I had been here, I probably would have gone to that just to say I did. This is really dumb. Okay. Tori from Minnesota.
Yeah.
Last week, Last week there was some debate on what a vape competition consists of. As it
It
happens,
was much of a debate.
well, get ready. As it happens, my brother owns a small string of vape shops and has held these competitions.
Fucking local vape magnate.
I know, right? I'm a video producer, and he has me make a vape competition hype video for him, so I saw firsthand what occurs. It's usually whoever can blow the largest and longest cloud.
Sure.
It's measured via distance by a panel of judges. The men and women who compete oftentimes expand their lungs over months of deep breathing exercises to be able to inhale more vapor and give them the competitive edge.
I bet I'd be really good at vape comp. I have a huge lung. Like, I'm holding my breath for a really long
There
time.
you go.
If you're at all
I
curious
got asthma. I'm fucked.
to know more, I guess this is also some self-advertising for his brother's business, but if you're at all curious to know more, I've linked one of the old videos I made for his shop.
I would like to see that later, Brad, if
All
you
right.
could
Okay.
send it my
I
way.
can put that in the show notes.
I'm just going to Google vape competition stuff and get in a really deep vape hole.
I was in a vape hole for a while, but it was all based around a live streaming site devoted to people
Oh, right.
vaping.
Is that still there?
The site is still there, but no one is broadcasting
What if we-
anymore,
what if
and
we
they're not.
broadcast on it.
And last time I checked, it was people playing video games and very much not vaping.
Mm.
And I was like, "What the fucking fuck?"
I know a guy that could get us set up with a couple vapes if we want to, move our market,
Oh,
kind of shift our brand a little bit.
No.
Okay.
Yeah.
I'll keep him in my Rolodex just in case.
Okay, yeah, no. Never know. We're gonna need to reach out to the vape man.
it's true.
We could pivot there. I mean, if we need to.
The vape man.
Yeah,
The
the
vape
money
man
is until the government regulations stamp down
Yeah.
on it. We got to fight the fight.
That's right.
PGs.
Yep. Let's get Grover Norquist on the phone. Put this together. Steve, also from Western Australia. Baldivis?
Boil device.
I think
Yeah,
is
that's the one.
the town. I always enjoy it when you guys get quizzes, so I figured I'd give you one to test your knowledge of Australian slang and the meaning of the terms.
Easy.
Here are some well-known
Barbie
Aussie
means
terms.
barbecue.
Whoa!
Oh, wow, you were way ahead of him.
Foster's means beer.
Damn, I'm not even going to read this then.
It's a 2-question quiz.
You guys are experts. Here are some well-known Aussie terms and their definitions.
Is
how,
this a knife?
how many
Yes,
can
no.
you get? Fully sick.
It's good. It's good.
good.
Yeah,
It's
yeah,
good.
Really
That's,
good.
That's not Australian.
Yeah, really good.
slang.
Well, fully.
Maybe-
I don't
maybe
hear,
it came
often hear
from there.
fully sick.
Maybe it came from there.
I feel like we were saying fully around here like maybe 10 years ago, but maybe not fully sick.
Yeah.
All right.
But someone anyway.
Spewing.
Throwing up.
No, no, to be disappointed.
Okay.
Oh.
I don't know how you would use that in a sentence.
Let other people guess. Don't just.
I'm spewing.
I don't want to ruin it for
Okay.
everyone else in the room.
Right.
The concert was spewing
I don't
That
know.
concert was spewing.
Yep. That's what?
No,
that sounded
that's it.
like a Sid Vicious or
What?
something.
The concert
What?
was spewing.
What are you talking about, mate?
That's
Oi, Energizer. Oi.
Jesus.
What would Jacko say? All right.
Okay, to spew
I already forgot the definition of spewing.
It
Yeah.
was
to be disappointed.
Oh, to
So
disappoint
to-
someone?
No, to spew is to vomit.
Fooled again.
I mean, that's a common
Yeah, that's like Wayne's World.
To chuck.
to throw up.
Yeah, depending on context, you either vomit or throw something.
Yeah.
Okay.
That's
So, some of these
Again,
are
not
very
Australian.
very
Yeah.
universal. Pack it in, to give up. Like,
okay.
yeah,
Okay.
come on.
That means something else for me.
But okay. Yeah, taking the piss. We don't really say that, but we've heard enough of
Yeah.
it.
Also mean that's
are you
something
taking
else
the
for me.
piss?
Dunny.
Your friend
Finished.
would have done.
No, it's toilet.
See.
Dunny, really? Oh.
Throw another shrimp on the dunny.
Oh
Yep.
no.
That's right. Sink some piss.
Drink beer.
Yes, to drink alcohol. Good job. A tinny.
It's like wait,
Oh,
a
I've heard this
tinny or
one.
tenny?
A tinny. TINNIE.
I have heard this one.
I'm gonna say like like a beer can. That's
Okay,
my
good.
guess.
Yeah, depending on context, either a can of beer or
Yeah.
a small metal boat.
Mm,
I think that's why I've heard it.
I was thinking
You can
like
enjoy a tinny on a tinny.
like a thing of sardines or something. But okay.
Okay.
Yeah.
To shit the tin.
It's to screw something up.
To drink a lot of beer.
That's pretty close. When technology or machinery fails or breaks.
It's like when something shit the bed. Same basic concept.
Flogged.
Ooh,
Jacking off.
Is it like flogging?
Molly?
To have taken or stolen something.
Flogged it.
Oh.
Flogged it, I guess.
Sure.
I don't know.
Okay.
I flogged that Foster's, mate.
Oh God.
You have a really pitch perfect Australian
It's
accent.
thanks.
I've never
really-
heard.
It's really.
Almost put it on my job application, but I thought it will speak for itself.
You're a regular Melbourner.
What? Melbourne and raised, I was in it.
Yeah. You're like a walking koala bear. And koala bears can walk, so that's really crazy.
Your middle name must be Joey.
Steve Arwin.
Cutting sick.
Skipping out on work.
Yeah.
Going crazy in a good way.
Okay.
Snags.
I could go for some snacks
Cigarettes.
right now.
Sausages.
Mm.
These snags are called sick.
Piece of piss.
It's a bad thing.
Piece of pizza.
Something that is easy.
Oh, okay.
Oh.
Yeah. A can of corn.
There's no cake in Australia. They
Yeah.
only have piss.
Getting knocked back.
Getting drunk.
No, to be denied something.
Huh.
Arvo.
Extra virgin olive oil.
Yep, you got it.
Yep.
Product of Australia. No, he says Arvo means afternoon.
No.
No, not feeling
That
it.
one's made up.
That's very
That's
possible.
the fake one.
Entirely possible. All right, that's it. I left out a few that were too obvious.
Okay.
All right, that's gonna do it for emails. Bombcast@giantbomb.com.
Bombcast at giantbomb.com.
Yeah. All right, I'm just gonna let you be the announcer from now on.
It's a bombcat.
It's a Bombcast.
Yeah.
If you got a question for a Bombcast, email it at giantbomb.com. Emails at podcast.net. Thank you so much for being at the Giant Bombcast with us. I gotta go get Wicked Pister.
Wicked Pister?
That's more than just normal.
Oh, okay. All right.
All right, thanks for listening. Have a good Arvo.
This is the worst Arvo.